We play and call it work.
MiniWarGaming's Age of Sigmar Battle Report.
Hello there, Wargamers, and welcome to another Age of Sigmar Battle Report. Today, it is going to be Matthew and myself here from MiniWarGaming playing a 2,000 point battle report. I'll be playing the Mortis Praetorians, and this is obviously after the Bonereaper FAQ. So I guess I should say I'm playing the Ossiarch Bonereapers, not just the Mortis Praetorians. And Matthew is going to be playing the Cities of Sigmar, the Greywater Fastness, to be specific. And we are playing, I believe it's called Star Strike. That is a scenario where we have no idea where the objectives are. They just kind of decide to appear when, well, not whenever, but wherever they want throughout the course of the game. Let's go take a look at the list that we're bringing. It is not Petrifax Elite from me, Mortis Praetorians, Greywater Fastness, and then we'll describe the scenario and roll some dice. We're gonna take a peek at the Ossiarch Bonereapers today. Two things I wanna note, or maybe it's one thing, but just two parts. The FAQ came out. The much needed FAQ, I think, for the Bonereapers, and I apologize if you were a big fan of the Petrifax Elite. Yes, they were very, very powerful. Everyone does know this. But I am very happy that they are gone, because it takes the pressure away from wanting to always pick them, and now you can finally experiment with the other legions. Now, I'm sure a lot of you already have, but for me, it's hard to explain. It's like I could play the Ivory Host, but I know I'm not playing Petrifax Elite, so it kind of feels bad, right? Or I could play the Mortis Praetorians, but I know I'm not playing Petrifax Elite, so you know when you're losing a game, like I'd be fine if I was playing Petrifax Elite. That's gone. Don't have to worry about it because Petrifax Elite sucks now. And also in that FAQ slash errata, some points were reduced on the Hecatos units, so the Immortus Guard, the Stalkers, and the Morgas as well. They all went down. I'm not using them in this game. They didn't go down like a significant amount. They went down by, I believe, 10 to 30 points, varying between them, maybe no more than 20. They didn't really quite fit in this list I was trying to run here. This would typically be a Petrifax Elite list because this kind of list doesn't quite fit into the other legions as well. This could maybe be not a bad Crematorium list because I do have so many little dudes. But I'm not playing Crematorium. I'm playing Mortis Praetorians because I have Vok Mordian or Vok Mortian, however you pronounce it. Oh, there was two things I want to mention. Am I insane? Am I insane in thinking that there was an FAQ release for Vok Mortian that says he gains the Mortisan keyword, therefore he could take a spell from the lore of the Mortisans? I just feel like I'm going nuts here because I remember that happening early on when the Bonereapers were released. I'm like, why can't this guy take spells? Oh, there's the FAQ, he can take spells. But I look at it now and I don't see that referenced anywhere, nor do I see it on his war scroll in the app either. So I guess I'm playing without the Mortisan keyword, which is fine. With this list, I typically would have had two Bone Shapers. I don't actually own two Bone Shapers. I do need to expand upon the Bonereaper collection a wee bit, but he will do because he's a wizard. He's kind of cool and he's cheap enough that I can bring him because everything else is too expensive to bring. So he's like the only thing that honestly fits. And because I'm bringing him, I'll be playing the Mortis Praetorians. Now, the Mortis Praetorians are the main Bonereaper Legion. They are the ones led by Catacros, the Mortarch of the Necropolis. Yeah, that's him. I know I don't have to play the Mortis Praetorians with him. I could literally play any of them and then just throw him in, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'm not really too keen on one specific Legion to play. In fact, I could have actually just picked my own command traits and whatnot. But you know what? I don't mind the Mortis Praetorian command trait, and I liked the artifact as well. So I said, you know what? Why not? Why not? With the Mortis Praetorians, I get Catacross as chosen as a command trait. We're gonna have the Liege Cavalos down here be my general for today's game. That will allow me to gain D3 discipline points whenever I want, once per game. So if I am finding myself low on them, I can pop that and gain that. Now, I did look over some of the command traits for just generic non-Legion Bonereapers, and they're pretty good. So maybe I'll experiment with that. I don't mind the Mortis Praetorians, though. The counterattack is pretty good. The artifact, the relic are, the command trait and the artifact are okay. And the minus bravery is okay. But I think in this one extreme example with Matthew's army, because he's not going to be charging me, so he's not going to be affected by the negative bravery, nor is he going to be giving me the counterattack rule. I would have been better off making my own just command trait and artifact and non-named legion. He's also going to have the Mortis Praetorian artifact, which is the Artificer's Blade. It just increases the rend from on his Commander's Blade to -3 instead of -1. And that will be effective. I think in almost every case in Matthew's army, that's no save against his attacks. With the Commander's Blade, specifically. On to my wizards. We are going to have a Soul Mason here. This is a weird wizard, but he gets to cast 2 spells a turn. He's going to know Arcane Command, which will give me D3 extra Relentless Discipline points, so I can fuel a little bit more Endless Duties and Unstoppable Advances and all that good stuff. He's also going to have, because I brought a battalion, and that battalion is the Mortec Shield Corps, which is 3 units of Mortec Guard and one of these characters, one of these wizards, I will be giving him the Gothazar Cartouche, which gives my death units +1 to wound when they're nearby him, when they attack enemy units that do not have the death keyword. So that will help quite a bit. It really helps the Mortec Guard. Instead of wounding on 4s, they get to wound on 3s, or at least the ones that are nearby him. And lastly, we have Vokmordian. I've already talked about him. He's a level 2 wizard. He's got his own built-in spells, though, namely the Mortal Touch and Arcane Bolt Mystic Shield, which is what he will be casting, I suppose. And the Bone Shaper is going to know Vitality Drain, Soul Drain. It essentially makes it so the enemy unit must reroll unmodified hit rolls of 6, unmodified save rolls of 6, and I actually believe that's it. It drains their vitality. It makes them a little bit weaker. That should help against maybe the big nasty squad of greatswords coming my way, or any target I want to target with catapults or whatever it may be to make their saves technically a little bit worse. Potentially worse. On to the rest of my army, my battle line. Much like pretty much every Bonereaper player out there, it's just 3 squads of 20 Mortec Guard. You could do the Death Riders, but we all know they're really not great. In certain cases they can be good, but these guys tend to perform a little bit better. And you're going to notice spears are mixed in the units. I wanted to make up, I needed 3 squads of 60, but I want to run the blades. I don't like the spears at all. I love the blades. The difference is the spears have an extra reach. Don't care about that, don't need that. They have 2-inch reach, but the blades have rend 1. What the battalion does for my army, it's the Mortec Shield Corps. It allows me to use the Shield Wall ability on one of the Mortec Guard units once per turn without costing me a Relentless Discipline point. It's not that expensive of a battalion. It gives me an extra artifact, and because I'm Bonereapers with a battalion, I will get an extra Discipline point at the beginning of every battle round as well because of that. We have 2 Mortec Crawlers, which are catapults, which will maybe be doing the most damage in my list. Ideally bringing 2 of them, and a lot of the characters are going to be based around supporting these 2 Mortec Crawlers. We'll see how well they do. I've done well with them in the past, but they haven't been, oh my goodness, carry me to victory please. I've had to rely on other parts of my army. And lastly, I do have a Bone-Tithe Shrieker. I had the points left over to bring this bad boy, and he's typically always really good to bring, so why not, right? And that is it for the Ossiarch Bonereapers. Let's go take a look at Greywater Fastness, the cities of Sigmar.
And over here we have 2,000 points of cities of Sigmar, specifically Greywater Fastness as the city. Greywater Fastness, I'm not taking advantage of everything from it because it helps you to buff artillery, but I don't have any artillery, so we're going to ignore all of that. There are a couple things though that it's given me, which is why I decided it. It was a hard choice between this and Living City. Living City I can pop in sides of the board, which would have been nice for kind of objective grabbing or just table control. But the nice thing here is there is a command ability where you just give a unit +1 to hit with shooting, so that's nice. And so that'll help me to buff that. My general, who you can see in the front as a free guild general, that's a conversion or a model from another thing, so we're going to use him as that. I gave him Drill Master, which is a 12-inch bubble of rerolling 1s to shoot, so you get that access to that as well. And then I've got 2 Battle Mages and a Rune Lord. And the spells I get access to are kind of cool too. Like I've got Descending Ash Cloud, which lets me choose a unit and they get -1 to hit. 18 inches too, which is a pretty good range. And the other one has Choking Fumes, which is basically if you're within 15 inches of me, I roll a die for every model that's within 15 inches, and on a 5+ you get a mortal wound. So if I get close to a big blob of your battle line, then I could deal a bunch of mortal wounds to them. So we'll see if that actually comes up. And then I gave him the artifact, Mastro Vivetti's Magnificent Macroscope.
I love this one.
Yeah, and it gives me +1 to shooting, but I don't have any guns on any of my leaders. But what it does is it gives you 1 extra command point at the beginning of the game. So I technically put it on one of the battle mages. It doesn't matter because I'll show up, get the extra command point, and then he's going to throw it away. So, and then the 1 battle mage, I got a Gairan, so a life, and the one that's white I'm going to play as being fire, so they get access to new spells that way, or not new spells, but different spells. And so the one that's the Realm of Fire is going to be my adjutant. And so in Cities of Sigmar, you can, if if you got basically heroes on foot, heroes with a low number of wounds, then you can choose one to be an adjutant to the general. And if he stays within 3 inches of the general, then I get to generate more command points, possibly. That's nice and easy. So that's it for them. The general, of course, has his own ability that he can choose 3 units that haven't moved and give him +1 to hit and to wound, which is really nice. But I don't like all the staticness of this army, but it is really good at shooting. So when we go into my battle line, there's quite a bit of battle line. At the back on the left, we have 2 big blobs of 30 handgunners. And it was really a hard choice between 3 groups of 20 and 2 groups of 30. Like on the one hand, Luka's got a catapult that can just roll a die for every single model in the unit. On 5s, it just kills one.
Because of their bravery being 5.
Yes, because their bravery is only 5. And so having them in 20s would make me a little more survivable that way. But by putting them in bigger groups, I don't have to spend as many command points to make them effective, because I have like 1 command point will give a unit +1 to hit. So all of a sudden I can give 30 guys +1 to hit rather than 20 guys. Also, the Free Guild handgunners have a really cool ability that if you finish a charge within 3 inches of them, and they're not already within 3 inches of an enemy, they can actually just shoot at you. So all of a sudden it's 30 shots rather than 20. But it does give up a bit of mobility and obviously other disadvantages too. And then my other battle line on the right is a big unit of 30 Free Guild Greatswords, which, you know, maybe I could have just brought more handgunners, but I like to have some sort of close combat capabilities.
Well, these guys hit like trucks.
Yeah, they're pretty strong. They're not quite as strong as your battle line, but 2 attacks each, 3s and 3s -1 is pretty nice. And then just given their base size, you can get a lot of them in the fight. And then if they're close to a general, they get bonuses as well, or a hero, they get bonuses as well. And then just as throwaway battle line, I got 2 units of 10 Free Guild Guard, and their job is just to run around grabbing objectives. That's my battle line. Now, for my other units on the far left, we got a big unit of 20 Iron Drakes with their full command. The thing I don't like about handgunners and Iron Drakes is they get bonuses when you stand still. And I'm not a stand still kind of player. I like to move around the board. But their bonuses, you get an extra shot when you stand still. And they only get 1 shot each. So you're doubling their shots, which is just, it's such a hard choice to move them if they're already in range of an enemy. And maybe move, it's like, do I go up and grab that objective, or do I shoot twice?
Yeah.
With my 3s and 3s -1, most likely -2 because my Rune Lord on a 2+ gives them an extra rend. Like it's just such a hard choice. But maybe that's good. Maybe it's good to force me to have those choices. And then lastly, I've got 2 units of Ether Wings. Unfortunately, I couldn't find all 6 of them. I know there's one around somewhere.
There is, I swear.
But you are allowed to bring 1 understrength unit in the entire army.
Wait, only 1?
Yes, you may bring 1. I don't know why they're restricting that. Maybe because somebody could take 6 and be like, I'm going to bring 3 units of 2. But the thing is, you have to pay the full points as if you brought 3. So I'm not sure why people would decide to do that. Because then you're paying for 3 Ether Wings that you wouldn't have on the table. I don't know, is that worth it? Is that like, that's like basically 50 points that, I don't know, just so you can have an extra unit running around? Whatever. So I've got 2 units, 1 of 3, 1 of 2. And these are not even allies, because I'm playing Cities of Sigmar. 1 in every 4 units can be Stormcast Eternals. So these are technically even from my city. I don't know how they survive in all the pollution of Greywater Fastness, but I don't know, magic?
They are magical birds.
They're magical. They are very magical.
They have magical ribbons on their magical talons.
Exactly. Their job is really just to be something that can run around and grab objectives. Other than that, they have very little function. Maybe line blocking things, but once again, you're probably going to be a little less aggressive than you normally do with the Bonereapers, as you got those 2 catapults doing all the work for you. So we'll see. If anything else, they can serve as a wall and just hold you back for a turn, because they die really, really quickly.
Oh yeah, they do.
And that's it. That's really all there is to it. So there's a lot of synergy, a bit of mobility, and we'll just kind of see if I can outshoot the Bonereapers, because I knew that Luke was bringing Bonereapers, and I already did the whole close combat, hitting like a truck, and super resilient Fire Slayer, so now I want to try the exact opposite, something that's a little less resilient, although not a total pushover, and really decent shooting capabilities to be able to pick off important units or whatever I need to do.
Bonereapers typically do not like to fight against shooting armies, so we'll see. Today, Matthew and I will be playing the Star Strike scenario. This is the new 2021 from General's Handbook 2020. The way this changed is there's fewer places it could drop. Instead of it skewing more towards the middle, it's evenly spaced out. So in this battle plan, both players' territories will encompass half of the table, as you will see, and there are 9 potential spots for the objective to drop. It retains the mechanics it had before. Starting in the second battle round, an objective will randomly drop in the middle of the table, either towards the left, directly in the middle, or towards the right. Kind of evenly spaced out. Whereas before, it could kind of gravitate to the middle, typically. And then, starting on the third battle round, each player will have a piece of comet or whatever it may be, the objective, drop halfway in their territory, pretty much on their deployment line, right in the middle, to the left, or to the right. You will score victory points as follows. You gain victory points equal to the current battle round for every objective you control. So you control one objective on turn 2, you'll get 2 points. If you control 3 on turn 2, you'll get 6 points. And then, of course, on a draw, we would determine the winner through minor victory with whoever accomplished the most amount of their auxiliary objectives. And then if that is also a draw, then the game is just a draw.
And once you finish this battle report, make sure you go into the MiniWarGaming vault to watch Josh and Matthew play Ogre Bot Tribes versus Disciples of Tzeentch. Click the link below to get your free 7-day trial.
And here is a, well, more proper look at the table, as you'll be seeing throughout this battle report. Some terrain in this game, thank you to these companies. We have Table War providing the mat. We have Greenleaf Terrain, who custom built all these buildings for us. We have Gale Force 9 in the form of crystals, because we are playing in the realm of light, which I'll describe in a moment. And foreground is a lot of the trees, as well as Greenleaf, so doubled up on the trees there. And we have a Games Workshop kit right in the middle, representing the Bone Tithe Nexus.
So as we look at the terrain, if you've watched this for any amount of time, you know that we don't just randomly determine scenery things, because that's just a pain in the butt, because we have a lot of things on the table. If you want to do that in your own match play, organized play, just to keep it fair, whatever.
Of course. Yeah.
So essentially what we've done here is each of these trio of trees is, if you draw a triangle for them, then they're overgrown, which means you can't pass more than an inch through it, and you can't see more than an inch through it. And that goes model by model. The buildings we're going to treat as garrisons. Now garrisons need an FAQ, because there's the question, because we might actually have this come up. Essentially, when a unit goes inside of a garrison, you're supposed to remove that unit from the battlefield, and then you just treat the building as an enemy model. So the question comes, we already know the answer because it just doesn't make sense any other way. If I have 30 handgunners inside and he's got one model within 16 inches, well then all 30 can shoot at him, because there's no way to know where you're supposed to shoot from, because they're taken off the table. And so obviously you're just measuring from any point. If that doesn't sound right, well, see if you can come up with a better way to do it, because there is no real other way to determine individual ranges. But it does cause another problem. If an objective is exactly, the middle of the objective is just 6 inches away from the building, so within 6 inches, like 5.9999, or actually even exactly 6 inches, then how many models does it count as being for purposes of controlling that objective? Does it count as being all the guys inside, which could be the answer?
Sure, maybe.
Or does it count as being none of the guys inside, which also could be the answer? Or does it count as just one, because you treat the building as, what they say, an enemy model, which I think they meant for the purposes of staying 3 inches away, that kind of stuff. So I don't know what the answer is supposed to be, but we're going to play it as you only get to treat it as one model. Because otherwise you put 15, 20 guys inside, and all of a sudden, boom, that objective way over there, I have 20 guys within that objective range, and that just doesn't seem right, but it could be right. I'm going to admit that right here, but it does need an FAQ, and I checked, and there's nothing in your write or FAQ. You think that by now it would have been answered, but it's probably because nobody plays with garrisons.
Too much, right? Well,
Yeah.
I never did before, right?
Well, Carriage on Overlord players would become more familiar with this. I'm curious what you would decide to do when you have like your boat going around with 20 guys inside. Does it specify in the Carriage on Overlord book if that counts as 21 models for the purposes of holding an objective, or does it only still count as one? Because whatever that answer would be what I would use as well. So anyway, the other thing to kind of point out, so these buildings are not going to be overgrown, so you can still see through them as long as you can see through them. And then the terrain feature that you get for playing in the realm of light is mystical, which is that models, not units, models within an inch of any terrain features, including the Bone Tithe Nexus, ignore wounds and mortal wounds on a 6+. Doesn't help the Bonereapers at all, because they already kind of do that. Is it only with close to a character that you get that, or is it just everybody gets it?
So that's the typical death thing. Mine
but
is
it's because even your sergeants count as...
Yes, I have to
so
be
within 6 inches of the sergeants as well.
I have to be wholly within 12 of a character, or wholly within 6 of a hecatos.
Which that one sergeant inside the unit is. So,
yes.
So generally you'll see that Luka always gets a 6 up to ignore. And so it's not going to help him. It'll help me, but I think it won't help me as much as you might think, unless I'm garrisoning, then all of a sudden.
Oh, hey, yeah, that's true.
It's -1. Because when you're inside of a garrison, in case you're not familiar with this, you count as being in cover, but then it's also -1 to hit them, shooting or melee, which is kind of handy. And in this case, they'll also have a 6-up ignoring wounds. So, yeah.
Okay.
And for purposes of things like when he fires the catapult, he has the one special round where you roll a die for every model in the unit. We would still roll for every die for a model in the unit that's inside of a garrison. We wouldn't be like, well, it's just an enemy model, so you just roll one die. Like, we won't do that. Although, to be honest, these things should, the garrison needs a bit of clarification. But at the same time, 9th edition 40k just came out, and I think they've done a tremendous job with the terrain rules, so I almost want the terrain rules to be totally redone for Age of Sigmar, because I think they've really got a good idea going there, because the terrain rules for Age of Sigmar are still a little, somewhat consequential, but still a little too inconsequential, and a little too muddled in certain areas, but that's how we're going to play it today. And really quickly, the other stuff for being in the Realm of Light, we do have access to a new spell, which basically works just like Mystic Shield, except it only works wholly within 12 inches, and it casts on a 5, so you can actually Mystic Shield and cast this and have 2 units re-rolling ones. Yay! Probably never see it. And then the command ability, which Luka can't use because he's Bonereapers, is, I think it's ignoring cover.
That sounds about right. That sounds familiar.
I'm not going to use it either because I'm very hungry for my command points. So really the only thing you're going to see from this realm is the mystical realm feature, which we'll see how much of a difference that makes.
Roll-off time. Matthew and myself between picking sides and playing.
I think no matter what, you're choosing who goes first because I have a lot more drops than you. So,
right.
Now you get to choose your side as well.
I'm a lazy wargamer. Here we go. Over here.
Ooh. Well, see, I set up the table purposely this time to be very asymmetrical. One side has the buildings. The other side has more line of sight blocking terrain.
Yes.
So, which is it? So you want to have the side of the buildings.
I do. Just because I don't want to move that many models over there.
Such a good tactical reason.
I'm not a liar. I'm an honest man. It's what it is.
Okay.
Matthew and I finished deploying. I finished deploying first. I didn't even use my battalion. I just had 9 drops to his 12. I went guard with the Bone Shaper support, guard with Soul Mason support, and then Mortec guard with Vokmordian support. Catapult, and our Liege Cavalos, our general, right here. And that's it, actually. That's my deployment. Yep, nothing.
Pretty straightforward.
It's what you'd expect, right? We have 3 potential objectives down these 3 lanes, so I want at least a battle line unit, a durable battle line unit to threaten that objective. And I forgot to note that my Bone Type Nexus is directly in the middle of the table, so if an objective does land there, we'll use the center point of that as the objective.
6 inches within the middle, so you still have... it's basically this circle like this.
Right.
So that's plenty. That's plenty to be able to still grab it.
We fighting
over that. If it was 3 inches, then yeah, maybe not the best place for it.
And we put it there because it says it can't be placed within 6 inches of an objective. Technically, there's no objectives yet on the table, so this does work nicely for me. Now, what do we got for your deployment?
Well, I had to think a little bit harder than you.
Yeah.
Not that yours is a bad deployment, but more just you have your catapults, which for a couple turns are going to start doing some damage, and they could potentially do a lot. So I wanted to keep my characters alive, so they are all out of sight. They're all basically in terrain or behind the overgrown terrain, compared to your catapults. So we've got Rune Lord over here, and the Iron Drakes too are totally out of line of sight of them. I couldn't get everything out of line of sight without sacrificing. I could, but it would sacrifice a lot of my table control. So instead, it's just going to be like there's just so many of me that maybe you just won't do enough damage. So I've got my Free Guild Guard just screening a little bit, and then we've got my Great Sword screening over here, although they're not just a screen because they're actually pretty hard hitting. I made sure to put a lot of the nobodies, like all the important guys are over here, because now they get the 6-up ignoring wounds. So I don't want to allocate and then have to start taking off standards or the musician or the sergeant, the champion. And so I'll have a bunch of rolls of 6-up to ignore before I finally get to the point where I don't have that. So we'll see if that actually makes a difference. Same thing with these handgunners too. I've got probably half a dozen, maybe a dozen of them within an inch of the terrain. And even these handgunners too, I put like on both flanks. I've got guys next to the terrain just so I can, roll some extra 6-ups. It might keep a few guys alive throughout the course of the game. And then my Ether Wings are just hiding out in the corners. Their job is late game, and I'll say this, late game, grab objectives. And if Luka wants to waste his catapult shots early on, they do have fly, which means
you can always shoot them.
You can always shoot them. That you don't count over. There's still true line of sight that you have to have.
Yeah.
So if you don't have true line of sight to them, you can't fire. But the overgrown trait does not apply to targets that have fly, or if you, the shooter, has fly. Which I should point out in our last game of Bonereapers versus Fire Slayers, there was a moment where you couldn't put the spell, but then we remembered that Archon
Has fly.
flies.
Yeah.
So he actually could put the spell. I don't know if that was really a key change in the game.
No, I was
it
kind
just
of
felt bad because you knew that you were totally shutting them down with the spell that he was going to do. So just got to remember the Ether Wings do not get blocked by Overgrown, but you still use True Line of Sight if that does come up.
If I choose to shoot at them with catapults.
Well, you know what? They might go and grab an objective.
Right.
And
That's true.
at that point, you're just like, well,
I got nothing
I
nearby.
can shoot the guys in front of me who aren't holding an objective, and it's turn 5, and you're about to go next, and you're going to get 5 more points. So yeah, you might decide to shoot at them. So that could totally come up, but we'll see. We have to do auxiliary objectives, which we'll see how often come up, but we're still going to make sure we take the time to pick good ones. So I chose Seize Ground, which I choose a piece of terrain not in my deployment or my territory, wholly in my territory, and so I'm going to choose the Bone Tide Nexus thing. And at the end of the 4th battle round, if I have a unit within 3 inches, I get it. I think you took that same one, Luka.
I took that exact
choosing
same
the
one.
same piece of terrain.
Yep.
And then I took Invaders as well. So basically, at the end of the game, if I have more units in your territory, Luka, than you do in my territory, then I get that one as well.
Interesting.
What's your second one?
I went with Massed Panic. If I can make 2 different enemy units fail a battle shock check in the same turn, I accomplish mine.
That shouldn't be too hard.
I don't think that'll be too... No, they all seem pretty reasonable, actually, all the auxiliaries. But this one I'm going to try and aim
Against
for.
my guys, yeah. For against you, like I can't do battle shock.
Yeah, you can't do that one.
I can't do ones where I have to definitely kill something because you're going to be resilient. I'll just be happy to kill models, not entire units, right? So.
And if anyone's curious about the auxiliary objectives, again, whoever accomplishes the most of their auxiliary objectives will win a minor victory in the case of a tie on the primary objective.
Which, as we said before, rarely comes up.
And I think we all know the answer, but Matthew's going to be going first.
Well, you choose.
Yes.
And you were going to make me go first.
Yes, that is.
I figured that's what was the case.
Yeah.
I position my guys as much as possible, and just in case you're like, no, I'd like to bombard you before you move. But no, I get it. I get it. Okay. So right off the bat, I had purchased a command point. I had the artifact that gives me a command point. Oh, you need to generate yours too. We'll do that in a second.
Oh yeah, we'll do that after this.
Because you actually do it at the beginning of the battle round. And I also get one for so I'm up to 3 command points because of the beginning of the round. But I have my adjutant within 3 inches of my general, so on a 4+, I'll get another one.
Yes,
Thanks.
sir.
So I'm up to 4 command points already. But you know what? You're going to see me use them. Not this turn, but I'll need them.
That's some wise counsel right there.
Yeah.
I will be gaining 1 discipline point for every hero I have. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes. I will gain 1 additional one because he's a liege. That's 5. And then I'll get 1 for bringing the Mortex Shield Core, which will give me 6. But I also have 9 units, so I'm going to roll 9d6 if I can keep them all in my hand. And for every 6, I gain an additional discipline point. I gain 2 more. I have 8 in the first battle round.
Hero phase, I've got some prayers and spells to do, so my Rune Lord will go first. On a 2+, he can give the unit of Iron Drakes an extra rend on their weapons, and so they have it. It's not, I don't think it'll come up, but you just never know, so I'll give it to them. I'm going to cast Shield of Thorns from my Battle Mage of Gairan on a 5, and it lets me choose a unit 18 inches and visible, so I've got some problems there. I want to put in the Great Swords, they're within 18 inches, but I can't see them. And it basically, if you charge them, you take D3 mortal wounds. So I'll just put it on this unit of guard right up front, so that they can just run up, and if you charge them, then you'll take some mortal wounds.
That's fair. I'll have you know I could try to unbind that, but I'm not going to bother.
You just don't care?
I just don't care. BM. Never mind, Matthew.
Yeah, you're out of range.
I'm not even.
Stop being
What about
lazy,
this,
man.
What about this guy?
Well, no, I'm back.
You're back. Yeah, you're probably right. Oh, that's so close, though.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be rude. Come on.
Yeah,
All right, fine.
You don't get to do it because you can't.
Yeah, the game
Punk.
mechanic says I can't even
Punk.
be rude. That's fine.
And so I'll do over here. I throw a Mystic Shield on the Great Swords.
Ooh.
Because why not?
What a great roll.
You want to?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
sure.
Try.
11.
Yeah. No.
No, I fail. Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. That is it for my hero phase. We're going to go to movement, do a before and after, as everybody just reshuffles and tries to take some ground. And this is the after of the movement. Everything ran, pretty much. I made sure all of my heroes are not in line of sight of your catapults, but I also made sure that my battle mage in the back has line of sight this way, so I could actually put Shield of Thorns on things
He's
I
like
want.
super hard to see, but he's behind that tree
Yeah, he's
right
green,
there.
just like the tree. You can't see him, he's camouflaged. And so a couple important caveats, so just my thought pattern. These guys, when they ran up, the Free Guild Guard, they are more than 3 inches in front of the Iron Drakes.
Yeah.
So that way, if you charge them, then you're not engaging the Iron Drakes. That's important because in order for the Iron Drakes and the handgunners to get their extra bonuses for standing still, there needs to be no enemies within 3 inches. So I really don't want that. You can always come down through here, of course, but it limits your options is what I'm trying to do. The handgunners, I'm not as worried about you getting within 3 inches because if you do charge and get within 3 inches, then I get to fire at you.
Yep.
So there's a little less of a worry there. And I also made sure all my handgunners stayed within 12 inches of my general in case I want to use his command ability. and the birds ran up the sides. Now, one mistake I made, when I did the prayer, I meant to do the Ancestral Shield. I realized it was totally useless to give him -1 rend. It has no function whatsoever, whereas his other pick for the prayer is to give him 6-up ignoring wounds. And so they get +1 save against shooting. So they're basically a 3-up save against shooting with 6-up ignoring wounds. So that should dissuade Luka maybe from firing at them. There's lots of other targets. So
I think my targets are already going to be the handgunners.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they're the meatiest. They're the most bang for my buck if I shoot at them.
Probably. Easiest to kill. And because I can't run and shoot, that is the end of my turn, because I have no charge in either, because I can't run and charge. There is one of the cities that the Warlord trait or Command trait or
the Tempest
Artifact
guys?
lets you choose a unit, and they can, everything close to the general can run and still shoot. That's cool and all, but once again, handgunners only get all their bonuses when they stand still. Now, I could still throw the command abilities on them to give them +1 to hit, and if they're wholly within 12 inches of see, it's fine. It's fine. I had to pick different things. So basically, my turn is over. So I end the game, I end the turn with 4 command points to help keep me alive.
Oh, that's super good, actually.
Yeah, and so that's the other nice thing about going first. Like I told Luka this. I'm like, when you choose me to go first and I'm this army, I'm kind of happy because I'm not going to get to shoot you first turn anyways, unless you go first and you run up into my range, which would be really dumb. So I don't expect my opponent to do that. I expect him to stay just out of 16, so I actually have to move up and not get the bonuses. I still get to shoot you. And so if you let me go first, essentially I get to redeploy closer to you. Now, of course, then there's a double turn. That could mess that up, but if that happens, that happens. So that's all I got, though. 4 command points, and a whole lot of guys now threatening the range of your guys.
In my hero phase, I get nothing fancy. I technically do get a command point, but I just can't use it on anything. We're going to go ahead and use the Bone Tithe Nexus, and we're going to give... You know, I'm not going to...
They're all on 4+, right?
Yeah.
So just roll it first.
I'm going to go with one of the punishments that's a 4-up, and I'm probably going to target them, but if I get it, I do. All right, so it's either Lethargy or Agony. Agony is -1 to hit, I believe, and Lethargy is no running and 1d6 charging only. I think I'm going to do Lethargy on the Greatsword, so they can't run and they can only charge a d6. Now they do have musicians, so I got to remember.
Well, it's just +1 charge.
They could charge 7, so I'm going to try and stay 7.5 inches away from them.
Well, I can still move up. I can still move though. Remember, so I'll move 5 inches.
So they have a 12
so they have technically a 12-inch threat range instead of a 17 or 18.
Actually, let me see what that looks like first before I actually commit to that, because I might just do -1 to hit on them instead. I'm going to give -1 to hit the Greats.
But then I can charge you then. Yeah.
No, we're just gonna go. I'm thinking about -1 to hit them, but they can give them +1 to hit. I'm gonna stick with the Lethargy on the Greatsword, so they can only charge 1d6.
All right, sweet. You didn't do -1 to hit on my Iron Drakes. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know, right? Like, they're both good choices. They're both good choices.
I'm like, do you put it on them and make the Greatswords a threat because the Greatswords are a threat?
Yeah, they are.
Or do you make the Greatswords pretty much null for a turn, but then let the Iron Drakes be more of a threat? But maybe I'll roll a bunch of maybe I'll just roll 5s. I'm
trying to debate. That's right. It could just be 5s, right? Because going from hitting on 2s rolling 1s to 3s rolling 1s.
There's no re-rolling 1s. That's over there.
Was that over there? You know what? Okay, -1 to hit on them then. I thought it was over there.
Oh yeah, all right. My Greatswords are gonna kill you.
I forgot that's the general thing.
Yeah. I'm just joking. So final answer.
Final answer. Dunzo.
Okay.
-1 to hit. Punishment of Agony. I have Vok Mordian start off the spell casting. He's going to cast Mystic Shield on this squad of... Just so I can reroll save rolls one against shooting attacks mostly, and his other spell's not going to be helpful here. He gets it with a 10.
I'm not going to try to unbind that.
Yeah, that's fair. So they're going to reroll save rolls 1, and then his second spell, he's going to try and cast the endless spell, the Shrieker. And that's on a 6. So he gets it with a 7.
Oh, he gets +1?
So he gets with a 6. He gets with a 6.
I'm like, how is he getting +1?
I did bad math.
I have a battle mage who's in range of that, so I would like to try to stop that. I'll need a 7 or higher to stop it.
Should be.
Oh,
okay. So we do get it.
We do get it.
So I set this up wholly with an 8, and it does not move. That's where it's going to end up. There are a few units within 12 of it. The +1 to hit for my shooting won't matter because these guys already hit on 2s, but that will matter more later on in the game if it sticks around. Now, where's that Rune Lord at? He's over there. Yeah.
He's out of line of sight, so.
Okay.
Yeah, he can dispel it on a +2.
He can dispel on +2, so he only needs to roll a 5+ to dispel it, which is pretty easy. And he's within 30.
Yeah, he's in range. But that's not till my turn, so.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I could set it up over here.
Because if you go next, like if you double turn, then it'll still be there. So
maybe if he's within range, it makes more sense to set it up over here for now. Just so in case you do go next, you can't just get rid of it for free. On second thought, we're just gonna keep it there just because.
Are you sure, Luka? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I feel like I have to like lock you in. You have a button that's like final answer.
Wait, I don't know why I'm second guessing myself.
Well,
so
okay,
much.
so the reason off camera we talked about it, I said, don't you move it at the beginning of the battle round? So you don't move it in your hero phase, right? You move it at the
Right.
beginning of the battle round. So if you're going to move it back there anyways, then before I would go anyways, then what's the difference?
Oh, no, okay, you know what? Okay, it does make... okay, yeah.
Oh, you changed your mind again?
Changed my mind again. It does make sense to go over here. It's, I think it's wholly within 8 around there. I'll measure in a second. What is
You're good.
That's good. Okay, so that way you can just skirt, you can skirt this side of the table. I only really wanted to affect the greatswords.
You're not in
over
range of
there.
anything right now.
That's
so
fine. I don't need it for right now. I just wanted to kind of float around a little bit, you know? Because if I set it up over here, only the greatswords are wholly
Stop
within 12.
talking about it, Luke, otherwise you're going to find a reason about it.
No, I know. But it reduces bravery by 1 as well, which means more things would run away, but I don't plan on actually shooting at the greatswords this turn. So for now, it's happy there. So he is done. Now the Soul Mason's going to go ahead. We're going to go on to the Soul Mason. He's going to go ahead and cast Soul Guide, which is a reroll hit rolls of 1 spell, wholly within 24 on a 6. I do get it with an 8.
You don't have any pluses?
No, just an 8.
I know you can just cast it again at the end of the hero phase on a 2+, but then you can just put it on another unit. So
Right.
you choose a unit 24 inches, and you get to reroll 1s to hit against them.
That is it.
So what I'll do is...
Oh, sorry, no, I choose one of my units and they reroll hit rolls of 1.
Oh.
Yes.
That's even better? Well, kind of. Not better or worse, whatever.
So,
I do want to unbind one of those. I do have my Rune Lord who can unbind with a +2. So I'm just wondering if I should wait for your next roll and try to bind the second one rather than this first one with that, because it's an 8. So I'd have to roll essentially a natural 7+. So it's like a 55% chance. Yeah, what the heck, I'll try it. I'm thinking too hard. I'm thinking like Luka.
this one's, yeah.
That
Oh,
does.
okay, well, that
he would have failed no matter
Yeah, that
what.
would have failed no matter what. That's just going to go on that one there. Gets 3 reroll hit rolls of 1. And then his second spell, because he is level 2, or he can cast 2 spells, I just like to say level 2. He's going to cast, I've already cast Mystic Shield. I don't need to do Arcane Command. I'm going to go ahead and...
You do have, remember you have the built-in Realm of Light 1, which is kind of like Arcane Shield, but or Mystic Shield, but it's only wholly within 12 inches.
You know what? I will cast that. That's going to be the Realm of Life one. I could do like a Mortal Wound, but I think I'd rather give him reroll save rolls of 1. If he looks like he's wholly within 12, I'll cast it, then measure. Bam! I got it. Would you like to stop it? If it's wholly within 12.
Yeah, you got it. I don't care about having reroll 1, so...
Yeah, so he'll have reroll save rolls of 1. Until my next hero phase, that's the Realm of Light spell.
Light.
And lastly, my Bone Shaper is going to cast Shardstorm because none of the other spells he has are in range or really relevant. I choose an enemy unit within 18 inches. If this goes off on a 5, I roll an 8. Would you? That's my last. Well, it's not true.
I know you can cast that one spell
I could cast
again.
more, yeah.
No, I'm not going to try to unbind that.
Okay, so I pick an enemy unit wholly within 18, and I roll a d6 for every visible model.
Wholly within?
Sorry, not wholly within 18. I pick a unit within 18 inches. I roll a d6 for every visible model that's within 18 inches, and every 6 up to take a mortal wound. So I got to figure out how many of them are visible.
He's the only one out of the 18 inches, so he's got to check for everybody else how many you can see.
See, those 5 there, those 4 there are 2 protected by the building, and there's a tree blocking the window. Probably would've got more of the Arcane Bolt, assuming I get 1 here. 1 die, so it's like the same effect as
Hold on. I can allocate that where I like.
That's true.
So I'm going to put it on this one right here. Oh, wait, no, then you can get through. That's great. I'm just going to lose one guy.
All right, okay, there we go. That's going to bring us to the end of the hero phase. He's got an ability called Mortec Throne. I roll a d6. On a 1, nothing happens. On a 2 to 5, I can cast that spell. He casts Soul Guide again.
Any spell. You can cast any spell again.
I think it's only Soul Guide.
No, it says any. My apologies.
It is only Soul
just
Guide.
Soul Guide.
Don't roll a 1. Okay, I can cast Soul Guide one more time. I'm going to attempt to cast Soul Guide one more time. I barely get it on a 6.
I have 1 left. Unbind, no bonuses though.
Oh!
Rolling just a 6.
That'll go on the second catapult.
So both catapults are re-rolling 1s to hit.
And that, I am most certain, is the end of my hero phase. Yes, it is. So my forces are all going to shift. My Mortec Guard are all going to move forward into what I'm going to call a safe distance away from the shooting. And the crawlers are going to readjust a little bit. We're going to try and get him wholly within 12 of the crawlers for endless duty, and I'll show you what that looks like. Well, all my frontline dudes ran in a way to try and stay away from the Iron Drakes. I do fear them.
I basically watched Luka measure carefully to stay just outside of 16 inches of the Iron Drakes.
Yeah, there's a big 16-inch.
And I'm like, all right, the zoning has worked. I don't know where the objectives are going to be yet, so maybe it didn't matter.
Exactly, might not matter at all, but I'm trying to be a little careful. The catapults moved a wee bit. They're still wholly within 12 of the Liege Cavalos. This line moved forward, just mostly to stay 16 away from them, but to take a little bit up the field. Now, these guys moved up aggressively. They both ran, and I used Unstoppable Advance, and they moved.
And you didn't stop my guys, just in case the audience wasn't able to follow. like greatswords can charge
Yes,
2d6.
they can still charge 2d6. It's all good there. If they charge, we're just gonna have a good old clash right down here in the middle, and hopefully nothing too awful happens to me. Blockmordian went to follow over there. I left enough room for the endless spell to go that direction or go in front of them if I wanted to. Catapults moved forward. I don't know if I already said that, and then they stayed over. They barely moved at all. They went forward like 2 or 3 inches.
They actually moved forward 6 inches, saw the Iron Drakes.
And that's right. I actually
promptly turned around and walked backwards.
They did go forward a little bit. I ran them. I'm like, oh wait, that's way too close.
You actually had enough movement to
back.
move them where you moved them, and then change your mind and walk them back, and still stay within your movement allocation.
That's true. That's exactly what happened actually on them. And that brings us to the shooting phase.
Bring it.
We're gonna start with the catapults, obviously, the only thing to shoot with. We're gonna go with
Start and end.
We'll start with this catapult first. We'll fire at the handgunners in the middle.
Now you said you were going to use a command
Yes.
ability.
When they go to fire, it's not at the beginning, so I don't have to. It's I can just go before they fire. I will do endless duty for 1 discipline point. He gets 1 more attack. Only on the necrotic skulls attack. The FAQ clearly said you don't get to do the other special shots twice.
Oh.
But there was a moment of time where you could, because it was a little iffy. But because it had number of attacks, and then number of attacks would turn to 2, and then they eroded it saying, no, you can't do that.
You know what? I just read it though. It wouldn't work.
Oh, I guess it's
instead of doing the attack, instead of doing the sequence, just roll a number of dice equal to how many there are.
Right.
Just because it says you have 2 attacks does not then give you any rules.
I don't know.
That
why
would let you do it again.
People did it. I never did.
Because it's not like if it has 2 attacks and then it says don't use the attack sequence, just roll the die on a 6, you do a mortal wound. Let's say that's what it was.
Right.
You wouldn't be like, well, it's 2 attacks, so I get to do that twice. It's like, no, it said instead of the normal sequence, which would be look at how many attacks you have.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't. But I can get why they had to FAQ it, because totally people would argue that, but it has no rules as written backing to really make that work.
So it only works on the necrotic skulls. This one's actually shooting the cauldron, if you're curious. I don't know, kind of random thought. That's where my mind goes. Anyways, bam! 4 necrotic skull shots into them. Hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s. 2s to hit, rerolling 1s for Soul Guide.
Ooh, roll a 1, roll a 1! Oh!
Soul
Look, it's
Guide.
happening!
Soul Guide didn't work. And
Okay, but you got all 3 of those. So
that's a big deal. So these are 5 damage each, no rend, but they only have a 6-up save.
I only have a 6-up save.
So you're looking for 1 here.
I
at
want
least.
1. Give me 1. Give me 1. Yeah!
Ah, so that's 10 damage.
Now I have a bunch of them, like basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, who are just within an inch of your terrain. And so I get 7 ignoring wounds on 6s.
Okay. Mystical.
So I saved 2 of them. Hold on. So
there's still 3 more you have to do.
no, so there's 3. Okay, so I can just keep rolling those
Yeah,
until I
exactly.
fail them. So 2 of them won't die. Okay, so just that's it. So 2 won't die. So 8 die instead of 10.
Exactly.
But I do have to remove those guys first because that's where I was allocating the wounds. But hey, it saved 2 guys.
It did. I hurt them a little bit. I was debating on doing the other shot into them, but I'm going to put the shot into those
Soften
handgunners
both
over
targets.
there. Soften them up a wee bit. And again, endless duty for another discipline point to give it a 4th shot. Endless duty. 2s to hit. Reroll that 1.
Is it going to happen again? Oh! Okay, now this time, Luka, you got to roll at least 1, not 3 plus.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But how about this time you don't make a save?
You know what? Fair. Fair. Okay? But I'll do it anyways.
Oh, man. Catapults. They're
So hold on.
This is like their ideal target, too.
And I've got 4 guys, no, just 3 guys who can ignore the wounds this time.
Right.
Oh no! So 3 die.
All right.
The 3 that were next to
Potential 20 damage. Like a pretty likely 20 damage as well.
it. Not likely 20 damage.
Maybe likely 15.
Because you have to understand, your 2s re-rolling should have been 8
That should
hits.
be 4 hits. It should be 8 hits, yeah.
That should have been 8 hits, but as soon as you throw in that 3s to wound...
It's about 6 or 5 wounds.
But that's
Yeah.
so swingy.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, the 6-up save, 6-up. Yeah, okay.
It's a little rough. That's the end of my turn. Well, we have Battle Shock to do, at least. Are you going to Inspire Presence them?
I'll probably need to Inspire Presence them, because they lost 8, and even with their banner, they're going to see some running. And I definitely think probably want to do at least one so you don't get your auxiliary objective
Exactly,
rather
yeah.
than 2 fail. Let's see how they do first.
Okay.
Bravery 5 base, and then the banner makes it 6, and then there's at least 20 of them. So that brings it up to 8 for the Battle Shock phase. And they lost 3 of their buddies, and nobody runs.
They're fine. Are we going to Inspire them?
See, they lost 8 guys, so they're still the same bravery, 8.
But no matter what, someone's
So no matter
running.
what, I'm going to lose D6 to them. And I think that's okay. I'm not gonna waste a command point on that.
5
That
run,
hurts.
though.
That hurts.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm just gonna own it.
Hey, I don't get my auxiliary though.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet.
With the added battle shock, I'm pretty okay with the result there. Over there, I wish I did a little bit more damage.
You killed 16.
Yeah.
We do have technically another battle shock with the guard.
Could they possibly? There's 6 and they lost 1. Oh, I guess yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't think about this. I could inspire in presence, but that seems like a waste. I'll only lose a guy on a 6.
Oh wow.
My dice are rolling 6s.
Well, you see, it wanted to be the 6 the entire that
Yeah, you
entire
saw
roll.
it kind of stay on the 6.
I'm like, oh, I think that's gonna be a 6.
So that means you do get your auxiliary objective.
Okay, that only
Fine.
matters for a tie. So far,
We'll
that's
see.
not bad.
We'll have to remember that.
I'm happy that I got it at least.
Yeah.
Like obviously no victory points to score. We're only on the first battle round. But before we roll off to see who goes next, we have to see where the objective is going to drop in the middle at the beginning of the second battle round.
Why don't you roll it? Because from your point of view. So it's a D3, 1, 2, 3. Before you roll it, where do you want it? You want it over here?
I want it over there.
You want it right by my great swords?
I do. There.
You're just so afraid of my iron drakes, you'd rather be right by my great swords?
And like failing that over there, but now I know it's going to end up over here.
Well, you know what? Let's see.
Oh, it's over
you
here.
got your wish.
Okay, so it's going to crash right in the middle
I
there.
think I'm happy with that too, though.
It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. And there
Very interesting.
it is, right over there.
Yeah.
So I'm in a pretty good position to contest this one, where I got the 2 squads against
I'm
me.
in a pretty good position.
And then you're in a very good position because they didn't get hammered that bad.
And you didn't hit them with any debuffing things
Nope,
as well.
I did over there just in case. So that's gonna bring it to discipline points for the Bonereapers, and then we'll roll off. Let's go ahead and roll my 9 dice. I'm gonna get 2 more again.
So you're up to 8.
Back up to 8. And a roll off.
I'm assuming you want the double turn here, right?
Yeah, it's because of the position I'm in. Okay, well then you get to pick. You win ties.
I'm definitely going next.
Yeah, so it's going to be the Cities of Sigmar turn 2.
So I get my command point bringing me up to 5, but then I have my adjutant whispering into my general's ear. And
Wise
on a 4
counsel.
plus, I get another one. Nope. Okay, I got one last round, so 50-50, not too bad. So we're going to start with the prayer on a 2 plus, and this time I will give them -1 to their rens.
Oh,
You know what? Didn't work.
Okay.
So we'll do Shield of Thorns from my one back here, and I got it with an 8. Would you want to try to stop that?
if I'm within
It gives
30...
a unit, you do take mortal wounds if you charge them.
Right. I'm gonna try and stop that with my Soul Mason. Got an 8? Sure, why not? I fail. I know.
I'm going to put it across on the great swords because I can see them. My other caster in his haste to stay out of line of sight is out of line of sight of any of my targets as well, and all the spells that he casts require him to be visible in order to cast them. So I think he might be within 30 inches though. Yeah, so he'll try. Oh, right, we got to talk about this. We forgot to move the endless spell.
Right, so the Endless Spell, I planned on it just moving here.
Okay, so I will try to dispel it instead because I don't need to be visible for that. And what's normal casting for this?
I believe 6.
So I need to roll higher than that. I do.
Okay.
So get rid of it.
Goodbye.
That's good. That'll allow my great swords to get in there if I want.
There's actually only a 5 to cast, so Matt, you only need to roll 6. Got a 7. It
Well,
don't matter.
Got it either way. So this is a little tougher. I definitely want to start working on that objective. So my great swords are going to move this way.
Oh, it's fight time.
Yeah. Thankfully your endless spell is gone because that was really blocking my path. That was actually the worst part of it, to be honest.
Right,
was
it's not gonna support these guys either.
Yeah, it was going to help you too. So now I have a shorter charge and no stupid endless spell in my way.
Having fun.
yeah. And then the handgunners are going to move up to try to get as many into shooting range. Obviously, I'm not going to get any bonuses for standing still, but if I stand still, I have like half a dozen of them that are in range, so I can have 6 guys get +1 to hit, or I can fire with
The whole unit.
20 some odd guys instead, or yeah, somewhere around there.
I think we know the answer.
Yeah, that's an easy choice. The general's not going to come out of hiding.
Hey.
He's going to run up, so that should be plenty. I want to basically, my great swords, if they're wholly within 18 of him, that'll extend to like to here, so that should be okay as long as I'm careful with my charge. They'll get bonuses to their hits. And I want to be able to give out the pluses to the shooting as well. These Free Guild Guard, oops, sorry, he's in the wrong unit. Actually,
yeah.
No, he's in this unit.
He's part of that unit?
Yeah, he's part of that unit.
Okay.
Because he was over here. So this, I think, I'll recount them in a second. So this unit of Free Guild Guard are going to run, and they get a +1 of that, so that's going to be 10 inches total.
It's a screen.
And their job, yeah, it's just to screen. They're expendable. Sorry, guys. And these handgunners will come over as well, and then I'm going to count and carefully separate them from the 2 groups. So
That's
yeah,
right.
so there was an extra over here. I don't know if you care, but I counted and I moved it over. My mage realizes that if he just hides, yeah, he will never get shot, but he also can never do anything. So We're coming out. Here we are.
Hey!
You know, I'll still stay within an inch of the terrain. I have a 6 up to ignore. Just make sure I'm wholly within 12 inches of my shooting units. Yeah, just in case. And then my Iron Drakes. I think I want to come this way.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's the best I can do. I'm not going to be able to get much shooting. They're not going to be super effective. But I'll get probably half of them able to shoot that direction. And you have to be scared of them now, because now they're just one shot each.
No bonus rend,
no
negative one to
bonus
hit.
rend. Yeah, exactly. And minus one to hit, so they shouldn't do much. Rune Lord will still stay in hiding because none of his abilities require him to be in line of sight of anything. These guard, are you within 3 inches of this terrain?
No.
Okay, great. They are actually going to move up and garrison it. Because now, all of a sudden, there's a 3-inch bubble that you're not allowed to pass. Because I was going to run them over to here to zone them out, but by having that 3-inch bubble, because if you were within 3 inches of it, but you stayed away, then I couldn't garrison it. So.
I chose to stay away because of the...
Oh, wait. I got to double check.
Ooh.
But
yeah, you have to start wholly within 6 of it.
Yeah, and I was. Because actually, I think because we killed the model in the end when he ran.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it actually worked in my favor.
He's stuck.
Now, normally with garrisons, you just remove the unit, so I'm placing it on here just for decorative purposes. Obviously, this is working really well for me.
You know what?
Just stand him up somewhere.
Just to let us
so
know
that this thing counts, it will only count as one model for me, but it counts as my model. So now there's a 3-inch enormous bubble that you are not allowed to approach. I'm going to run these birds here. They're just kind of waiting. They're like, is there going to be an objective over here?
Maybe.
I don't know. You're going to be too busy to care about them. And I actually didn't move these birds while we were over here. So I'll throw a run at them because I'm not going to charge.
Right.
And I don't need to hide in any terrain. So the objectives, possibly, if they're on this side, they'll be here or here.
Right.
If it's back here, well, I've got plenty to grab that. So let's get ready to annoy you in your back lines.
I suppose this whole game could be played on this 1/3 of the table.
It would be pretty cool when that happens. But that's what you don't know. This game you just don't know, which I like. Shooting phase, I am going to spend a command point on the Greywater Fastness command ability, which is called Salvo Fire, which apparently Salvo Fire lets you hit better rather than firing more. So I place it on a handgunner or Iron Drake unit wholly within 12 inches of one of my heroes, and they get +1 to their hit rolls. And this is not the beginning of the shooting phase, so I can kind of do these one at a time, see how they do before I want to decide, do I want to put it on the units that aren't going to be as effective?
That's how his works too.
Yeah, so essentially I'm going to put it on this unit of handgunners, and then they are going to fire at your guard right there. So hitting on 3s, the white one is the special long rifle of the leader. So 3s to hit. I'll be rerolling 1s, thankfully, because I'm within 12 inches of my general, and that is his command trait.
Okay.
Not bad, not bad. Looking for 3s to wound. The white one is 2 damage instead of 1.
Oh, wounded.
Not bad.
Okay. I'll do the save against the long rifle first. That's a 5 up.
Yeah, -1 rend.
And I reroll once. I don't, so that's 2 damage. And I have Deathless Warriors. I take 1 from
1
the
so
long
far.
rifle. Let's see if it tears through these Mortec Guard. They hit save on 5s, rerolling the 1s. Okay, well, you know what? It'd be great if some of these work.
Yeah, well, you've already made a few.
Hey, 3 more because
that's
it's pretty
good.
That's a good save, I think. Not
Yeah,
bad.
that was very good.
Hey, nice. Deathless Warriors ignores 2 more. So it's going to cut.
7 kills.
They get shredded by the lead.
Yeah, but still, you rolled really well on your 5 ups, so there could have been a lot more dead there.
I'm trying to get rid of the spears because they don't belong. That's what it looks like now.
No wonder you're trying to whittle down my handgunners, right? Just
Yeah.
one volley, 7 dead, and that's without them getting all their extra bonuses. So we will do that again, and it'll be less guys, but I'm still going to spend the command point because I'd like to really nullify their ability, because I know you can't really bring them back in this specific army, not much.
Right.
And so I will spend a command point, give these ones +1 to hit. They'll still have the reroll 1 bonus as well because they're wholly within 12 inches. So down to 17 guys in this squad. 3s to hit.
Reroll the
Rerolling
ones,
1s, and I missed with the special weapon, and that's kind of important. Well, not
Ish.
It's important-ish. There's a few more hits. 3s to wound. Only
5 up save.
Oh, you did that again. You got half of them again.
No rerolling ones. Deathless Warriors stops none. So
Okay,
3
so 3
do
more
get
left.
shot down. Well,
Killed half the unit with that volley. I'm pretty happy with that.
pull those guys and just replace them with models. I'm going to pull him. I'm going to pull him.
Because you want to get rid of the
I
spear.
just want to get rid of the spears, just so we know. And then the rest, it doesn't really matter because they're
Just 3
swords.
guys. Yeah. Next up, we have the Iron Drakes, and they'll fire at the same squad. The question is, do I use yet another command point? I've got 3 left. Like, I have a healthy amount, but the thing is, I only gain 1, maybe 2.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't necessarily want to burn everything, but at the same time, Luka's going next for sure, which means I have to be ready for whatever happens
And
there.
it could be a double turn on that as well.
Exactly. And so I think
It's tough, I know, it's tough.
It's hard because I want to keep one for reroll to charge for the great swords, and I also need to keep some. You know what? I'm not going to. I'm not going to spend another command point because I think I'm going to need some clutch inspiring presences to keep me in the game. So we're just going to fire with our -1 penalty, with no extra rend, no support, and I think there's 11 of them plus the torpedo that can fire
Into the Mortec card?
Yes. So 11 plus a torpedo, hitting on 4s because of the -1.
Oh, torpedo hits.
Yeah. Still 3s to wound. Oops.
That's a good roll.
Yeah, that's a good roll. These are all -1, and this is -2.
Okay, I'll do that one first. I'll do the -2, 6 up, rerolling any. Oh, we make it.
Ah, that was D3 damage too.
These guys are valuable. I need them to live.
Yeah, right.
5 up save against the regular ones. Make 2 of those, and then these are single damage.
Yeah.
So we have Deathless Warriors, stopping none. So 3 more die.
All right. Unbuffed and even debuffed, killing 3. It's not nothing.
Guess we don't really need
At
you.
least you're not Petrifax Elite, the old +1 to save.
Yeah. See, I don't even feel bad now that I'm not Petrifax because it's not an option, right?
Yeah.
That will be it for shooting.
That's all my shooting. I just have the 3 shooting units. So I will go into my one and only charge, which will be the Great Swords declaring their charge. I'm not going to say who against because
really
I want
matter,
to see
right?
what I roll. Because you never know, if I roll super high, I might want to abandon the objective. Which, no, obviously not. So +1 to charge, I get a 9. So obviously
healthy.
Heading this way. This building obviously makes things a little more complicated. So what I ended up doing, this guy marks my 18-inch range. So I could, with the 9-inch charge, have gotten a little further, piled in a bit further, and maybe get like 4 more guys into the fight. The building's really, like if I didn't have this building here,
Oh, yeah.
I would have had a lot more guys in that fight. But getting 4 more guys in the fight, but giving up that +1 to hit, I'm not going to sit here and do the math. That could be, that's 8 more attacks, so I don't know. Because when they roll 6s to hit, they do mortal wounds in addition, but I think this is pretty good. And what it allows me to do then is I'm wrapping this piece of terrain, so I've still got my shield, and I've got lots of guys holding the objective, and I'm making sure that a lot of these guys are within an inch of the terrain, so they're getting the 6 up, ignoring wounds as well.
Now at the end of Matthew's charge phase, I use my Mortis Praetorian command ability for a discipline point, counterattack. These guys get to re-roll
Hit rolls.
hit rolls. And now that we're going to the fight phase,
Combat phase.
combat phase, I'm gonna spend, I don't have to actually spend one because of my battalion. I get 1 shield wall for free per player turn.
Woohoo!
So I'll just use a shield wall on them.
You've only got 7 of your specific command points left.
Which I know I'm gonna be using a lot of my upcoming turns, so that will probably matter.
I'm debating spending command point to get them all at attack to reroll 1s. They're hitting on 2s. I would love, of course, reroll 1s, but I'm such a command point heavy or hungry army that I think I'm going to save it. So no rerolls. So with the leader in there, I've got 27 attacks, hitting on 2s, thanks to the general being nearby, and 6s do mortal wounds in addition to their normal damage. So we've got 5 1s, just like I predicted, and 5 6s. That's pretty statistical for that.
like
6 6s.
Oh, boo.
So 6 mortal wounds so far, 3s to wound. Not bad.
5 up save, but I have shield wall, so I get to re-roll any save. I could re-roll my successes if I want to. I'm just gonna choose not
You sure you don't want to re-roll your successes?
Pretty
oh
sure.
man, you roll high already. Just stop right there, Luka. Stop it.
I'll save.
Stop it.
I'll save a
4
few more.
So 4 get through plus the 6 mortal wounds.
All right, Deathless Warriors stops 3 more.
Ah,
you only cut down
garbage.
7 of my super elite undead warriors.
Oh, they're super cheap undead warriors.
They're 14 points a model.
Yeah,
they're cheaper
whatever,
than your
man.
guys.
Yeah.
I think they're cheaper by 2 points.
Yeah, exactly. And how many attacks does each guy have?
2.
And they hit on 3s and 3s?
3s and 4s.
Okay.
So pulling 7
So-
guys. 1, 2.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't get to re-roll my saves.
4. Actually, 5,
But,
6, I believe, and 7's gonna go down. I'm just gonna replace some of the spears though. I'm gonna go ahead and retaliate. I'll pile in and throw some dice. I have no other buffs I can give them though. Everything's too far away.
Oh no.
1 dude not fighting, so we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them swinging, though 2 of them are soul cleavers, so let's do them first, then I'll do the rest of the attacks. Soul cleavers on 3s, re-rolling for counterattack, and then these wound on 3s with a rend of 1. They're all rend 1, so you can do all the saves. Oh, that sucks. We have
1 so far?
1 wound so far at rend 1. Their attacks on 3s, and I do get to re-roll here. Every 6 counts as 2 hits though, because of the Nadgerite weapons. The re-roll. A couple more 6s, but more importantly, lots more hits. 4s to wound. My cartouche is too far. That's a massive whip.
There we go. Well, it's probably about a little below half, but that'll help bring it down.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wounds. 10
Oh,
total
geez,
saves.
I looked at that wrong. You only got 9. So 10 total with the special weapon in there. -1 makes them a 5 up. And that's 3. It looked good, but it's just because there's some 4s in there. Now I definitely have enough next to the terrain to ignore wounds on 6s. Let's get a couple. Give me a couple of those. 1. So 6 die.
Oh, I almost killed these. Yeah, I almost killed the exact same amount. We almost killed 7 each.
So I'll take the 6 from the. You know what? I'm gonna double check how many models you have, so I make sure I grab the objective.
Yeah, gotcha.
Never mind. You've only got 4 in range, so I'll pull these 6. It has to be ones from here that I pull. So
Right. Anyone's within an inch of the objective. Oh, not objective, but terrain.
Yes.
The battle shock phase. I'm Mortis Praetorians. You're -1 bravery, but that negates the banner.
There's one more guy.
Hey, there's one more dude.
Hey. So basically, I lost 6 guys. I'm bravery 6, so I'll lose D6 more. Now these guys are valuable enough that I will throw one of my remaining 3 command points for inspiring presence, so they do not shift.
No running away. That will be 2 points for Matthew at the end of his turn. That is most certainly his objective under his control.
2-0.
All right, Bonereapers, turn 2. Can I? Oh, let's do some damage. In the hero phase, we are going to do the Punishment of Agony again from the Nexus. Oh, I got it twice in a row.
Twice in a row.
Twice in a row. -1 to hit. -1 to
Who are you going to give it to?
Iron Drakes.
Ooh.
Yes. Iron Drakes for sure. We're going to go ahead and cast some spells. Vok Mordian here is going to go ahead and do... I don't really need...
You have that one where you can target a model and just remove it on a 5+.
That one does only have 1 inch reach.
Oh, sorry. I thought it said 8 inches.
He's got to get nice and close and personal with that one. Again, guys, please let me know if he is a Mortison, because Matthew...
I looked too. I didn't see it. I looked at both the FAQ and the errata. Or sorry, the errata and the designer's commentary.
I know.
They're not very long.
Not there. They're not long.
They're not super long.
Did they give it to him and take it away again or something? I don't know. I just feel like I must have been...
Wouldn't they cross that out then and just make it magenta and then cross it out in the FAQ?
I don't know. But why would they take it out?
Maybe they regretted their decision.
He's 180 points for not a good character. He doesn't have any access to the spells. Sometimes, like, I play him just as a proxy as one of those guys. I would love if... Oh, man, I would love that. I'm going to make sure we get another one. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and cast Mystic... We're going to say Arcane Bolt, honestly. Like, he's got bad spells. Arcane Bolt. We got it.
Okay.
One mortal wound to them.
Well, I'm going to ignore it on a 6. I'll put it on the guy way over there. Oh, you wanted to be a 6 so bad.
It was close.
It was close. Yeah, I'll remove you.
So he'll die, and then he's going to cast the Endless Spell on a 5. Oh, double 1.
Oh, nice.
Nothing I can do about that. And onto the Soul Mason. He's going to go ahead and cast... We can cast 2 spells. So he's going to go ahead and cast Soul Guide, which he gets with a 7. That's the reroll hit rolls a 1.
Hold on. I'd like to try to get rid of that one, at least one of them, right? So my Rune Lord's close enough to get a +2 to that.
We need to show 6.
And
off by a little bit. So rerolling hit rolls a 1. Catapult right here. It doesn't really matter. We'll say this one. It's a wholly within 24.
One of them.
I guess he's not going to Mystic Shield. He's actually going to do the Realm of Light one, because it's actually cast on a 5.
And it's only 12 inches. And oh!
Womp womp. All right. Well, he's done his spells. We're going to go ahead and cast Shard Storm again, because Drained Vitality is not going to be able to target anyone useful. Shard Storm, we get it. We'll target them. That's my, not my last spell, because he could go ahead and cast that one spell D3 more times maybe.
I have 2 unbinds, so I might as well throw 1 unbind at that.
That's an 8. You do? Oh, never mind. I thought that was going to be 12.
So close. It wanted to be a 6.
I throw a Bone Storm in there. Bone Storm, sick reference if anyone gets it. And how many models are there? 9?
9, because one ran away.
Wait.
8, because one
died and one ran. Yeah. Nice. 8 dice. Every 6 is a mortal wound. Oh, 2.
So 2 die.
2 get hit by Bone Storm, or Shard Storm, you know. It's cloudy skies with a chance of Bone Storm today, folks. End of the hero phase, the Mortec Throne. 2-0. Oh!
You know what? I'm okay with saving an unbind for nothing.
Yeah, only 1 soul guide. At least I got the 1 off. Actually, yeah, Matthew just pointed out it didn't actually matter at all last turn.
Yeah,
so
you rolled your 1s into 1s.
Hopefully at least matters this turn. Movement. These guys are going to move their 4, staying 3 inches away from the enemies right there. We're going to move in this direction. That being the Mortec Guard. We're going to go ahead and advance the Soul Mason. He's going that away. Hopefully nothing drops too much in the middle. He's going to run an extra 4. 9-inch move, because he moves a little bit faster because of the little legs he's got there. If anyone was curious if he floats, he doesn't. He's got 2 constructed...
Chicken legs?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Taloned legs. Liege Cavalos is going to move. Already pre-measured. He's going to move to the corner right there. Now this crawler, I can't do anything about it. I can't get it wholly within 12. We're just gonna keep it. Well, you know what? We'll
You can run it.
We'll even back it up a little
If
bit.
you ran it, you could get there.
This one's gonna move forward a little bit just to get wholly within 12 of him. Yeah, we'll go a little bit further. Might as well use the full movement. Ish. Mortian is gonna move.
My birds!
He's gonna at least try to accomplish something this
Leave
game.
my bird alone!
Gonna move, stay outside of 3. Gonna move him up a wee bit. Not that it really matters too
That building
much.
is my model.
It is. And you know what? I'm going to use it to protect against the Iron Drakes a little bit too. 'Cause
Okay.
It is kind of hard to see through it, so I should be relatively safe.
You are.
So we're going to go right on to shooting. We're going to start with this catapult firing into them, and we are going to...
Handgunners.
Handgunners. Yeah, Mortec Crawler into the handgunners. We're going to spend a discipline point on Endless Duty, lots of poop, to shoot at them. That will give me a 4th attack on
Now
the
just
necrotic
remember, any
spells.
ones you roll here, you can't re-roll.
No, this is the one that got it.
Oh,
Yeah, this one didn't.
fine.
Oh no, it didn't matter!
It didn't matter.
3s. That's really good.
3 got through.
Spells of the foe!
Give me 6s.
Oh
No!
no, that's 15 damage!
15 damage.
That's
And
15!
I've got 3.
3?
I got 3 to ignore.
Well, bring it on, 3 at a time.
Hey, 1.
So that's 14 dead.
Oh, okay, 14 die.
All right, kill 14
okay,
guys.
That's
I'll give you. I was gonna say I'll give you a second, but
yeah, no. You know, I'll pull from the back to make sure I got as much in range as possible.
yikes!
That's as much damage as you did the entire shooting phase last game or last turn. Just want to point that out.
Second crawler, second handgun squad.
Now you don't have the extra attack
Nope.
or rerolls, so
Only
roll 2 1s for me right here. No,
Oh, there's
okay,
one
got
one.
You know what? I'm happy with that. And now,
And
now
3.
fail a 3+.
Ooh, 2 go through. Well, not yet. 6 up save.
Sorry, which one was that targeting?
The second, the one I didn't target before.
Okay, so 6 up saves. Come on, give me one of them. No.
I'll let you re-roll that. It's not completely
No,
flat.
no, that's a 2. That's a 2. I've got 3 of them.
Oh, bring it on 3 at a time. So 10 are dying.
10 dead. Yeah, 10 dead.
All right, 10 go down. And 3 of them have to be those front 3s.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Actually, I guess one of them was a swordsman.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
what's
whoops.
this? Oh, it doesn't matter.
No, 2 of them were swordsmen.
Oh no!
I totally cheated. It's okay, I didn't roll any 6s, so it's totally fine, right? Totally
Oh
didn't
man!
cheat. Totally didn't cheat.
Skulls of the foe.
Ow!
Charging time. We are going to start with these Mortec Guard declaring a charge. They get +1 to it because the Necrophoros. They roll an 11 on that charge. Yikes. That's where they end up.
I have Shield of Thorns, so you charge them, so you'll take D3 mortal wounds.
I will, maybe.
Oh, just 1, which you can ignore on a 6.
Deathless Warriors. Oh, I negate that spell. Nice, nice. All right, he's up next. 5. He's just going to go that way. Just want his aura over here so I can Endless Duty in this direction. And now he has impact hits. I roll 1d6 equal to the charge roll, and for every 6 up, they take a mortal wound. 6s! 2 mortal wounds on
Still
them.
managed to do 2, eh?
As he somehow.
So 6s I'll ignore because I've got guys right next there that they can do
Mystical. Okay.
2 of them die.
Can't forget about Mortian. He's going to go ahead and declare a charge. He's
Charge
gonna
the
go-
birds.
Oh, yes. Bird.
Squawk, squawk.
Squawk, squawk. Now we're going to move to the other side of the table where these Mortec Guard are going to declare a charge. We're just going to try to eradicate the defenders of this barricade. Not barricade, but what is the word for it? It is a garrison. That's what it is. They roll a 6 because of the Necrophoros. That's where they end up after charging. Not going to worry about the Bone Shaper charging because...
I think you got enough there.
Yeah, he kind of like slaps people around with his bone hands, and that's it. Beginning of the combat phase, I have to do some shield walls. I get 1 for free, so I'll just say theirs is free. I'm going to spend a discipline point on them shield walling, and I have 6 left.
5 left.
5 left. I'll do theirs as well, just in case. I don't really feel like losing anyone, and you never know. I might take some damage, so they're going to shield wall, and that's it for shield walls. That's it for the start of the combat phase. And I'm going to start swinging. Oof.
I'd love to all-out defense, but I only got 2 command points left, and I might need them both for Inspiring Presence.
I think I'm actually going to start swinging with these guys because I can give them an extra attack because of Endless Duty. So I'm going to spend, they're going to fight first, and we're going to do Endless Duty on them to get an extra attack. Starting with the Soul Cleaver, that unit only actually had 1 from the start. 3s to hit, no re-rolling. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds at rend 1, we'll just pull that in with the rest. 3s to hit, no re-rolling. 6s count as 2 hits. Had 3 instances of Nadgerite weapons. 4s to wound. Ah, there we go. That's the
Oh.
for whatever.
What's happening?
Oh wait. I gotta see. I think I screwed up. That they're wholly within 9. They actually wound on 3s. I forgot about his Gothazar cartouche.
Just automatically, or you have to spend a command point?
That's just his relic. I am wholly within 9. Got lucky there. I actually forgot about that. That's 4 more wounds because of the 3s.
That's a big difference.
That
Minus
is-
1 rend,
Yes.
so we got a 5 up save against this.
save.
Yeah, it looked good, but that's because I rolled a bunch of 4s. Yeah, if I start allocating wounds to these guys, to these great swords, even though they get the 6 up to ignore, they're the ones on the objective. So it's not likely they'll be saved because of it. So I'm just going to be pulling from everything that's off of the objective. I know that this is also guys that
haven't swung yet.
Haven't swung. Yeah, but I'm more worried about killing them. So that's the other reason, is that I want to be striking them more too. So that's 7 in total. So what we'll do is we'll do 4, and then I'll. No, I don't want to roll any over there. I also don't want you piling in around too much. Although I'm the one going next, so I can. No, I don't want to leave my 18-inch aura too. But I will get to pile in. So what I'll do is I'll do 4, and then I'll put 2 on them. Oops.
All guys near the objective or terrain.
Yeah, and they'll die because I'm going to pile in to make up
and
for
fix
that.
coherency. Yeah.
And then 1 more right here. The problem is, no matter how much I keep alive, you still have this unit to go into them. So the question is, do I do them next and try to knock a bunch of your guys off the objective? And the answer is, heck yes.
Okay.
So we'll go here next. We're going to fix our coherency, because he's closer. Yeah, so we'll have to come in like this.
Right.
And, oof. You know what? I'm going to have to change which one I removed.
Because I might be, because that guy might be a little bit closer.
I have to keep one more over here and have pulled off of there because they can't pile in to do their coherency.
Right, and then if I swing with these guys, those 3 just die to it, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and so then this guy can come over here, and then we'll just put whatever attacks we can wherever they are. Start with the 16 attacks into your smaller guard group, hitting on 2s because my general's nearby. Got 4 1s.
Boy. 6s?
No 6s.
Oh!
Yikes! No mortal wounds,
which is what you want.
What
to
I
fish
need
for.
because you have a 5 upper roll. Ugh, stop dropping the dice. 3s to wound. Yikes! Only 6.
5 up. Save. I make 2.
2 statistical. Actually, you rolled a perfect straight there.
Oh, I did 2. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so 3 die.
So 3. Oh, I got Deathless Warriors. Yeah, 3 die. Good call.
Could have used 2 or 3 mortal wounds in there to finish off the rest, but.
Oh, I did have 2 Soul Cleavers in there. Well, you know what?
Oh,
I'm just gonna pull 1 now.
I don't think it makes much of a difference.
It does not. And keep the Hecatos and the Necrophorus. I don't need the Necrophorus anymore. I'll keep the Soul Cleaver. Why not? This means I have to roll it separate now, though. There we go. Now these guys over here get some attacks.
Yes. 13 attacks, hitting on 2s. We got 2 misses.
And we got 2 6s.
And 2 mortal wounds. 3s to wound, not bad.
Much better. 5 up save because of the Rend 1. I make the average amount there, 3. And then I get to re-roll because of Shield Wall.
Oh, look at that. 4 more. Oh,
yeah.
wonderful.
And it was 2 mortal wounds as well.
Yes, so ignore on 6s.
Deathless Warriors ignores 2.
Nice. That feels great, Luka. That feels really good.
These guys are real good.
Yeah, good thing they're not Petrifax.
I could go with them next.
Why would you?
I could go over here.
Yeah, hit me something else.
But I'm actually going to go over here. Bockboarding the birds.
You're worried about the birds killing your guy?
Yeah, maybe doing some damage to him. You know what? I just figured out why Vokmordian's worth 180 points. He's got a range attack called Gaze of Death. It's not. He's literally supposed to be a little Nagash. Nagash has the Gaze of Nagash, which does that profile, but D6 damage instead of D3. And then he's also got the Touch that kills something on a 5-up, whereas Nagash's is a 4-up. Also got that little paper there. Contract of Nagash. On a 5-up, it says you can't attack. I picked that model. On a 5-up, it can't attack me. Okay.
I don't care.
Exactly. I just figured I'd do his rule. You see right here? Bird? It says you can't attack me, so stop! Oh, squawk, squawk! 2 attacks with his Staff of Retribution. Ah, there, he's done.
I'll do these Free Guild Guard because apparently you want to let me hit them back, and really what I want to do is just lock you into where you are.
Right, no piling.
You're probably going to slaughter all my guys anyways.
I forgot all about it.
And then if you don't get a double turn, then I don't know. I'll shoot you maybe. I know you still have Lookout, sir, but maybe I'll shoot them first. Who knows? 4 is to hit.
Oh boy.
And
hey, nice.
4 is to wound.
Okay,
Nothing.
there we go.
That's right. I locked you in.
Yeah. Well, I guess it makes sense to go with these guys next, so I might as well. I'm gonna go ahead and pile them in and swing. It's -1 to hit, so I hit on 4s.
You know what? It's okay.
You think I'm gonna kill them all in one go?
Oh yeah.
I guess through Battle Shock I might get them.
Yeah, no, they're dead. Okay.
I'll pile in my pile in at least.
Whatever. No, you don't get to pile in.
There you go. I pile in here. I pile in as much as I want.
You wonder.
So they are dead, and then that's birds. Birds get to go.
Oh no, the birds!
Birds.
Now,
That one bird can't go.
I would have had the ability to kill him because I have 6 attacks total between the 3 of them, and he's got 6 wounds. But now I'm for sure not going to kill him.
One bird is stressed out because now it realizes it has to go learn how to read, or else it's gonna get sued.
It's like, can I consult my lawyer, please?
I don't want to get sued.
4s to hit, and 3s. That just 3s to when you get a 5-up save. Oh, look at that!
Oh, nice.
Squawk,
Vokmordian.
squawk, squawk.
180 points of value right there.
Totally worth it.
My Liege Cavalos will go ahead and swing. He's going to endless duty on himself. So he gets extra attacks. He's got his Commander's Blade, hitting on 3. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on that, -3, 2 damage.
Yeah, okay, that's 2 dead so far.
So it's 2 dead so far, yeah.
Good job, good job.
7 attacks with his Construct Mount on 3s. Not best, not the worst. You know, it could have been all hits. 3s to wound, the rend of 1. 1 rend. 1 wound, 1 rend.
5 up! Haha, you got another.
Kill 1 more, and then he's got 2 attacks with his shield. Bam, we got 2 hits. And 2 wounds, no rend.
4 up.
I don't even know why they gave him the shield.
Yeah.
Why did they even give him the shield?
I don't know.
And then I go ahead. You know.
What?
He's wholly within 9. He gets +1 to wound. I don't. Man, well, I can't. It's the first time I brought it, so I'm having a hard time remembering it. I'm just gonna go on to these guys,
Which are not within 9 inches.
who are not within 9. They're not wholly within 12. They can't get
They
in.
get nothing except their basic attacks, which only kill like half my guys.
Start with the 2 soul cleavers on 3s. 3 hits. 3s to wound. 1 wound. Rend 1. 3s to hit. 6s are good. Lots of misses. Only some 6s. 3s to wound because they don't get the bonus. 4s to wound because they don't get the bonus. Wow, there's only 3 wounds. -1. Man, I need that artifact nearby.
The extra one from your other blade.
Right.
5 up. And I'm going to be removing from over here, so he doesn't get a. What's that? 1,
A musician.
2. Ooh, that's my last standard. So I need that extra bravery. Oh, no, you know what? I don't. I'm going to be inspiring presence. Then,
Yes.
Okay. Keep it off.
That's it for combat. Now on to battle shock. I have none.
Yeah, this is going to suck because you killed 16 of them.
And
So-
10 of them, I think.
Yeah, 10 of them, 16 of them, and 5 of them. And
How did I kill
I'm good at
5?
inspiring presence of greatsword, so I didn't even keep track. I actually just didn't even keep track of how many you killed.
What if you only had like 2 left? Would you still have inspired them?
No, I would.
I guess they would have ran. They just would have ran. It doesn't matter either way,
Yeah,
right?
because you're giving me -1 bravery, right? So you're basically negating my. So I basically the question is, I only have 1 command point left. If Luka double turns me here, it's game. There's no way I can survive that. Even if he doesn't double turn me, it depends. If you don't double turn me, it depends where the objectives drop.
Right.
But those
We see that first, though.
those catapults.
They performed this. Okay, to be fair,
20. They killed 26 guys before Battle Shock.
Yes.
Whereas the last turn they killed 16 after Battle Shock.
the handgunners are their ideal target. Like
Yeah,
in almost every situation,
because they have
Yeah.
no rend, but they do tons of damage. That's
Right.
like, and I would find that if, in your case, I would hate that profile.
I'm
I would,
not a
I would
big
hate to
fan
have
of it.
no rend 5 damage because then it hurts every time somebody makes that save.
Yeah.
I would rather it be -1 3 damage,
Yeah.
because then at least you're punching through, or -2 2 damage, because then you do something, right?
And they're 200 points each as well. They're
I know
expensive.
that. Like in this case, they are making their points back, but I think against most armies, they wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah.
But handgunners are just like their perfect target. So the question is, do I inspire and presence these handgunners? If you, I can't say I need to save 1 in case you double turn me. If you double turn me, the game's over. But I do need these guys here. So I will inspire and presence them as well, and remove all of my command points. And then we lost 5 here. Their bravery is 5 plus the banner, but minus yours, so 5 against. I'll lose d6 more.
3.
So 3 more of them will be removed. So we'll keep the champion and the standard. And then over here, I think I'm going to most probably lose all of them. Their bravery is 6 with the banner, and I lost 10 of them, so I'm going to lose 4. So I got 3 left after that, and I lose d3 of them, so I'll have 2 of them left.
Okay.
So I'll leave, obviously, I'll leave the leader and the banner. Just so it's harder to shake. If you only kill 1 guy, the other one might not run.
After all the battle shocks, this objective is still firmly under Matthew's control, so I do not get 2 points at the end of my turn here.
Yeah, but I depending on where the objectives drop, then I'm in trouble for this game. Those catapults are just far too efficient. So I'm just not able to maneuver anywhere without getting destroyed from a distance. So let's find out what happens.
I'm going to go ahead and do the objectives now. Matthew's going to roll for
No,
his.
you roll for both of them.
Oh, okay.
That way it's just easy for them
Oh.
to see. So start with yours. 1, 2, 3. I want it to be a 2.
So I got it over here. That's where I want it.
That's roughly here. We'll measure more specifically. Yeah, there's no way for me to get that one. And on my side, I'd like it to be here, please. A 3 or a 4?
That's a 5, so it's over here.
Oh yeah, from your point of view.
Yeah.
That's not horrible, but it's
Okay.
also not great. I wanted it in anything but that. So from my point of view, the objectives went in the 2 worst possible spots and the best places for you.
Rolling for my discipline points now, I still get my base 6 plus 1, so I'm at 7 instead of 8. Now it's a roll off to see who takes the double. Ah, it sucks.
Okay, so obviously you take the double turn.
To try and go for the win.
And you win.
Yeah.
There's absolutely, because of where the objectives are, there's no way that you do not win.
Right.
So what we do then is we say, congratulations, you won.
Right.
Now let's keep playing without the double turn. Because whenever the double turn would just kind of finish the game, but there's still cool action to happen. Because basically what we just watch is Luka just go catapult, catapult, kill a bunch of my guys.
Right, yeah.
And basically all that'll be still on the table is a few heroes and some of my Iron Drakes.
Yeah, I'm sure Matthew could probably just dictate my turn. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to do.
These guys would move up and kill my Iron Drakes.
Yep.
You'd catapult, obviously you'd catapult the handgunners. You might even catapult one of the heroes, depending. Actually, you might even catapult the birds.
So I was going to catapult the birds.
Yeah, and the handgunners. Unless the first
yeah.
catapult did nothing against the handgunners, then you probably do the second catapult against the handgunners. So it's pretty straightforward. So basically the double turn right there wins you the game. I still think you're going to win, even though we're going to go next. But I still wanted to see what happens if there wasn't a double turn. So
Right, exactly. Alternate universe, Matthew wins the roll-off.
All right. And since I won the roll-off, I get to choose who goes next. So Luka, you can go next. And I concede. I'm just joking. Back up to 1 command point on a 4+.
Wise Counsel?
Oh wait, no,
That's 6. It's 6 inches, isn't it? Or is
it's
it
3 inches. Doesn't matter. I didn't
Oh.
roll a 4 up, but I made a mistake there, not staying within 3 inches.
Ew.
In my hero phase, I will use that 1 command point on his built-in command ability, which is I choose 3 units that are free guild. So it'll be handgunners, great swords, and no. These,
Okay. I was like, yeah, I used to. No, don't do it.
and these 2, and as long as they don't move. And I can only use this if I'm not within 3 inches of the enemy. Obviously, I'm not. As long as they don't move, then they get +1 to hit and wound rolls.
Very nice.
So they already had the +1 to hit, so it'll just bring their wound rolls to 2s instead of 3s. Rune Lord is not going to roll a 1 because he wants to give them an extra rend. Thank you.
Good enough.
They're getting an extra rend. They still have the -1 to hit on them though, because
Yes,
your turn. You
the
give
agony.
me the
Yeah.
-1. Yeah.
It lasts until my next hero phase.
Okay. We'll try to cast Choking Fumes on your guard right here on a 6. I get it. If you let me do it, I'll be rolling 4 dice. Each 5+ is a mortal wound, because that's how many guys are in range.
I'll try and stop it with.
I think you have enough unbinds, not that.
I'll do it with him. Yeah. Ah,
You stopped it.
Oh wow.
Oh.
We actually unbound.
And then the other Greywater Fastness spell, Descending Ash Cloud on a 6. I got it with a 10. Now I can choose an enemy with an 18. They get -1 to hit.
I will still try and stop that with the Soul
Might as
Mason.
well. You might as well.
No, I don't.
And if I can see it, yeah, I'll give it to this catapult right there.
Hits on 3s.
You have a way to go. Movement phase, we're going to run these birds 5, and they're going to do their simple job of
Tagging.
grabbing an objective. As we come across, the big decision was Iron Drakes. I did a line of sight, and basically there's a strip of them that can't see your guard back there, because we have all sorts of windows for everybody else to see, and this is not an obscuring, it's not an overgrown, as it was in the other game we played because of the realm rules. And so if I stand still, they get to shoot twice. Not shoot twice, they get +1 shot, which is basically shooting twice. But I'll lose 6 guys. So I'll lose 6 attacks, but I'll gain 14 attacks. So I'll net 8 more shots than I normally would have. And one of them being on that special torpedo. Really wish that I had another good target for them, but I don't. And so I think the best bet is for them to stand still and see what kind of damage they can do here. Because the only alternative would be to move them 4 inches. And only a few of them would get in range of firing over there anyways. And so you basically stayed away from their 16 inches. You did exactly what you set out to do, which was ignore them and make sure they couldn't really do anything. And I had hoped that would be at the cost of something else, but it turns out the objective dropped right where you were zoning yourself out.
I got lucky right over there.
Yeah, so that's a little tough. I wanted the objectives over here, so whatever happened over here didn't really matter. Then these guys could just run over or walk over. If the objective had dropped right here, then their job would be to start to run up.
I got the 1 model, so that's it.
Yeah, I could start to run up and not even shoot, and then make you have to deal with a 3-up save against shooting kind of group, but obviously none of that really worked. And everybody else wants to stand still so they get all their bonuses. So really it's just a matter, I'm going to move my my general right to here to get a line of sight, and also to expand his bubble of, well, actually I need to stay, you know what, I'm going to stay within 12 inches of these 2. And then make sure his advisor is nearby, and then have this one move and get lookout, sir, I guess. And lastly, we'll retreat with the birds. Now they can actually charge after they retreat.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I want to. But
Well, you could turn off a catapult.
I think they're too far away to really try that. Yeah, it only gets into here.
Oh. Right, that's right. You can't run, retreat, and charge.
No, but I will run and retreat, and basically just use them to put 3 more bodies on this objective.
Smart.
I just don't. The problem is like all this fiddling is not bad tactics. It's just a little. There's too much of the game left for me to think that it's going to matter. And this is an escalating game of points. So
That's right. 4 or 5.
It's not like if I get far enough ahead and he can't catch up because they're worth more points later in the game. So it's like no, you need to hold on to it, not just grab it early. So we'll see what happens. First 2 handgunners, including the long rifle, are going to fire at this unit of guard with the goal of removing 2 of them so you no longer get lookouts there.
Ooh.
The white one is the long gun. So these are going to be hitting on 2s with all their buffs. Oh wait, no, there's not at least 10 of them.
They didn't move.
They didn't move, so it doesn't. They didn't move, so they get the +1 from him.
Right.
But they have to have at least 10 to get the other +1.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they're hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Okay,
Hey,
didn't matter.
it's fine.
And we're wounding on 2s though, because they do have the +1 to wound. Okay, they both get through. They're both -1.
I'll do the
And
2
then the
damage
white
first.
one is 2 damage.
So 5 up, 2 damage. Ooh, we make that one. 5 up
It
against
doesn't matter now because they can only kill 1.
6 to ignore.
Oh,
Ignore.
you did it. Well, it just seems, you know what? Let's just kill those 4 guys.
Yeah, I think it makes sense because objective, right?
Yeah, whatever. I was hoping to kill him and kill a couple of them. That way, no more buffs. But it's fine. We'll just kill it.
They do hit on 2s though.
But yes, these ones do hit on 2s, re-rolling 1s. So all hit. Also wounding on 2s. All wound.
Do the 2 damage first.
5 up.
5 up. Make that one. And then 11 regular saves. Well, not regular. They're still rend 1. 5 up. And I make 4 of those, and these are 1 damage each.
Let's see how many 6s you roll. Oh, I killed exactly 4.
You killed the
And here
unit.
I'm thinking this is overkill, but I can only kill 4 of them.
Goodbye, my unit of Mortec Guard.
Yeah. And then, as I said before, the Iron Drakes will target your guard back here. 6 of them not able to shoot. All hitting on 4s because of your -1. So I missed with both my torpedoes.
Oh, is there 2 torpedoes in there?
Well,
oh, he
one,
shoots twice.
one, but he gets
right.
to shoot it. It gets +1.
That's right. I forgot about that.
3s to wound.
Rend 2,
Yuck.
though.
Yuck. Only 6.
Oh, 6 up save, 6 up Deathless Warrior, so it's a 6 up re-rollable. I lose maybe 5 so far. I lose 4. 4 go down.
That was awful.
That was not
That
great.
was awful.
I'm gonna pull that guy, but replace it with this guy. Yeah, I'll take that guy too, replace with this guy. Actually, it doesn't really replace me, just puts him over here. No
And-
charges, I assume.
You know, I'm gonna check if they're allowed to charge after they get their bonus.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm not gonna charge. And now that I killed those 4 guys, my great swords have hardly anything to fight.
Oh no!
Because I'm split, because I can't just pile in everything towards your...
Right, they have to go this way.
Because some of them have to go that way, and since I can't, what I'm stuck doing is I have like a little bit of leeway here to move. So even the +1 to hit and wound on these guys isn't going to matter much. So what I can basically do is I can spread them out a little bit.
Right.
Boom, there we go. So
They will get the free shield walls.
sure, yeah, whatever. It's like 9 attacks, hitting on 2s, 1 misses, wounding on 2s.
Was there any 6s there? I think there was a 6.
Oh shoot, you got to check that.
Yeah. 5 saves at -1, so a 5 up save.
Reroll,
Reroll it. Shield wall!
Was there any mortal wounds?
No, there was no mortal wounds. I forgot to answer that. It was a bunch of 5s though.
6s to ignore.
Deathless Warriors.
All right, I killed 2.
2 do die. We're just gonna take 2 from here. I guess they're gonna be fighting anyways. And we're gonna go over to the.
Want Endless Dudium?
I'm not. I
You
don't.
have 7 left.
But I have my turn to do still. Fine. Oh, Endless Dudium then.
That's right.
He's got 4 attacks with his Commander's Blade. They all hit but 1. They wound on 2s because he's got the cartouche in range.
Minus?
There, -1.
Oh, just -1?
Oh, -3. He's got the Artificer's Blade.
It's -3 one.
Yeah, so
they're dead.
6
Congratulations.
damage. Got him. Definitely needed the
Yeah,
Endless
you
Dudium.
did. You did. One of them missed.
Oh, I think I'm engaged over here. Crap, I have to withdraw next turn or pile in and fight him next turn.
Nice.
Then I will go ahead and attack over here. I get no bonuses, but I will pile in with that guy to fight with him.
No bonuses. That's funny.
No bonus. I do get no bonuses.
You get 6s that get you more hits.
I get that's just a rule I have. I got the 2 soul
No, it's
cleavers.
a bonus, man.
I got the 2 soul cleavers. 3s. Okay, and 3s. 2 wounds so far. 3s to hit. With the rest. Oh wow, that's 4 Nadrite. Oh, that's actually just 1 more hit. Look at that. 4s to wound. No bonuses, like I said. No cartouche. 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds.
Well, I have to say, your 4+s have been subpar throughout this whole game.
They have been, but you know what? They've been doing just good enough.
Your saves have been doing well. So.
The saves have been the more important part. Just that win through attrition. Plus the 2 soul cleavers, so it's 9 saves.
You got 9. 5 up. Hey, you know what? I'm just going to throw them all on guys that are within an inch of the train because pretty much they all are right now. Hey, look at that. 7 die.
7 die.
So you're not engaged anymore.
Hey!
You're welcome.
Thank you, I suppose. Battle shock time. They
Well,
lost.
I just lost 7. I have no command points to help me out here. I have no banner to help me out.
Oh no.
So my bravery. Oh, you know what? I don't know if their bravery is normally 6 or 7. I think so. 6 normally, but 5 because you're nearby.
Mortis Praetorian.
Yeah, whatever. So 5, but I lost 7 guys. So I'm gonna lose 2 plus 3 more, so 5 more. So that's all about the unit champion.
Okay, we got the unit champion kicking still.
Congratulations. Still don't get the objective.
Nope, it's still yours. I definitely don't have. I got like maybe 1 guy at most.
No, it's
4.
the same 4, but I've got. Oh no!
No, you have
there's
4. You have 4. You got 4.
I couldn't see him past the tree. I'm like, this is the lower one.
So you still get 2 points for that.
Yeah,
Or 3
yeah.
actually. 3.
Yeah, 3 and 3. So that's 6 points. So I'm beating you 8-0. So we're just gonna. We ran out of time. So we're gonna have to just call it right there to look at the points. So obviously I win.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
8-0, right?
That sounds super fair. I'm okay with that. I feel like a big Bonereaper man right now.
Yeah! I can't believe they suck so bad after Petrifax Elite got nerfed.
Okay, in context, I literally never said that to anyone. There's probably someone out there that thinks that though. There's almost
Well, the
guaranteed.
tournament list, every single one is Petrifax Elite.
Right.
So now you got to actually use your creativity to come up with something better than an R. Because can you think? I want you to think right now that probably there's going to be some minor exceptions to this. Is there any army that, if given the option to get some sort of extra storm host or lodge or whatever, like this kind of thing, but if there was a vanilla one in the main rulebook that was just everybody gets +1 save, would you ever choose anything
well,
like that?
just think of some examples. Stormcast Eternals. Out of all the Storm hosts, one of them gave +1 save. Which one's the best one? That one.
None of them get +1 save.
No, imagine if one of them did.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
If there
yeah,
was
okay,
a vanilla one in the main rulebook that said no matter what army you're playing, you could choose to give them the keyword broken, and this keyword grants everything +1 save.
Yeah.
Forget about and you have to take this kind of crappy command trait and kind of crappy.
Hey, they were
artifact.
pretty good.
But they were good. So actually, a pretty good command trait and a pretty good artifact. The command ability sometimes works, but don't worry about that. Would you ever, besides for flavor reasons, but if you were always trying to win, would you ever choose anything but that? And I think it's safe to say no. There might be some very few exceptions, like Hermdar, for example. Even the Hermdar.
+1 save on everything?
+1 save on all my
You can get them to a 2-up save.
So I don't get to fight you before you fight me. Who cares? Because you can't kill me, because I'll be a 2-up save on a lot of my guys. So that needed. I don't know if it needed the nerf that it got to a reroll 1s in melee.
Yes, a little rough.
I still think it should have just been +1 save for the bigger guys, because when you read their lore, it was clearly like they have the best big things, and so in order to represent this in the rules, we're just going to give everything +1 save. It's like, but
Do you know what the best part about the Petrifax Elite competitive list was? No big guys.
well, why would you?
The 2 monsters, they had the 2 monsters.
Because your basic battle lines with a +1 save are immovable.
Yeah. Oh, they're look how durable they are without
Yeah,
it.
without it, they're
Yeah.
just the rerolls, and I was -1 rending you. It's not like I came at you with no rend. 5-up reroll is still fantastic. 6-up. No, that was frustrating because of the -1, and then I rolled poorly on my 3-ups to wound.
The harpoons missed, and yeah.
Yeah, and the harpoons missed, which do D3 damage, and the torpedo. Sorry, it's a torpedo.
Sorry, torpedo.
It looks like a harpoon, but it's a torpedo, man. So I'm gonna concede a second time now. I know there's still a few models on the table, but that's only because I brought 149 models to begin with.
Right, the models on the table aren't that great. Mine's Iron Drakes.
I have about 40 models left on the table, and I brought 149, and I've killed maybe 40 guys. So I have 40 left, and I've killed 40. So I kill a lot of little guys, but those catapults, man.
They performed, yeah. They did okay on the first turn. I wasn't upset with them on the first turn because the battle shock made me feel a little bit better.
The first turn was okay because I wasn't really in range to start shooting yet.
Yeah.
So you basically played it that you're a shooting army? Okay, I'm going to stay back. So if this was maybe another scenario which had objectives on the table right from the get-go, then maybe you'd be in trouble.
Oh, the scenario helped me quite a bit. It gave me a turn for just kind of whatever.
Yeah, like the first drop, I was like, okay, I've got hope, because it just dropped somewhere that I can hold, because I can just keep sending waves of guys into that. But then there's 2 others dropping there. Like even then, now that I look at it, if it had dropped in the middle, maybe I would have tried some sort of gambit. But over there, it's impossible to get. And over here, it's like, sure, I got it, and you'll probably, I don't know, you could just catapult them.
So yeah, my turn coming up would have been catapult moves on objective, shoots them. I would need to kill those birds. I would actually kind of need to kill those birds too because they could threaten this objective. Everything else is a little
they
too
only
slow.
move 12. How fast
That's
do you
true.
think
I
those
guess
guys go?
I don't know. I think
That's like 30 turns to get there.
you're right. You're right. So I've killed
They
them.
don't ride the winds etheric like the Griffhounds do.
I would try and kill them, and then he would come this way. They would unstoppable advance around. Yeah.
You're fine. You're fine.
And I think it'd be okay.
one catapult for these handgunners, the other catapult for the birds.
And
it would be super overkill.
But
because they have no save.
Yeah.
So
they don't have a save.
No.
That's right.
And they're 2 wounds each, so only one of your shots has to get through because
kill
I brought
them.
an understrength unit. And even if I didn't, their bravery's so low that they'd run anyways.
Oh, that's right. They would have had 6 wounds otherwise if they were a full strength unit. So 2 would have had to get. Yeah. Anyways,
It doesn't matter. They
It
would
doesn't matter,
losing 2, the other one would probably run. And it's not the end of the world if you have to wait one more turn. It's the fact that we're just at turn 3. If we're right now, we're looking at this and it was the end of turn 4, that's different.
Yeah.
Because I held long enough, but you're pushing through too fast. So, yeah, I'm going to concede at this point. Because really there's nothing else to see except you run into my guys and killing them, and that's it, without any interesting response. So I know I've lost for sure. I am very confident of that. And already had lost with the double turn. You saw how little I did, even when I went next. I'm like, okay, well I'll get 1 round of shooting. I killed 4 guys.
Yeah.
And
3 or
3
4
guys.
Yeah, over there.
And then I chopped down 3 more guys.
And then lost most of the
And
rest
then I
of
lost all my greatswords.
Yeah.
And they were the only thing holding the line. Like, sure, yeah, you charge them, they get to shoot you, but yeah, only in 4s and 3s. So, although it might be 3s and 2s because they still have that bubble up. But either way, you just don't shoot them. You just shoot the catapult.
I would just catapult them.
Yeah, and they'll lose another 5, 10 of them. So, but still, it taught me a lot.
I don't know how I feel about the catapults. Like, okay, imagine
they're too swingy.
they're super swing, but imagine this. Imagine how this game would have been incredibly lame if my opening turn was like they take 15, they take 10, 15 damage, and then like 5 or 6 more run, and then you just lost your 300-point units like right off the bat.
How often do you play against an army that has blobs of guys with?
Well,
save?
I mean, this game, they could have actually ruined this game. I think
They could have, and
That's what I mean.
In fact, I don't think this game was ruined, but I think
No, yeah.
that they are basically what.
Right, they carried me. They
carried the game.
Yeah.
Because my greatswords were holding their own, and all of a sudden I had 60 handgunners. 60.
Yeah.
And there's 12 of them left. So.
And I didn't even get into
and
combat.
that's
with
all
them.
you did is just
I
shot.
only
You
shot
just
them.
shot them.
Yeah.
You shot, and I even inspired and presence them
Twice.
twice.
Yeah.
So that cost me 2 of my command points, which I need desperately for other stuff. And you were able to kind of, the scenario allowed you to kind of stay back and wait and see, right?
I didn't have to rush forward to go for objectives.
You knew that there was going to be an objective on your side, so it was really just a fight over the middle objective. And that's often what Star Strike is. It's a fight over the middle, unless you've got deep striking or a much more mobile army. Neither of us have a mobile army. So it really is a fight over the middle one. And so being able to just delete my units. The Iron Drakes, of course, you were smart not to shoot at them. That would be frustrating.
No way. 3-up save?
3-up
No.
save against shooting. Yeah, because they get +1 save against shooting.
Forge
attacks.
proven Grommel armor.
Yeah, so you could get lucky, but you don't want to roll those dice just to watch me ignore most of them.
Exactly.
So
Well,
that's frustrating.
Even if I got 1 through, killing 5 would feel pretty good. I think.
Yeah, but you would have killed 10 or 15 of the handgunners with
Right.
that same volley.
And it's almost it's a very similar profile. I think
Very similar.
Yeah.
These ones hit on 3s instead of 4s.
And
they
that's-
have the same range
for the most part, yeah.
If when they stand still, they get an extra shot. That's what makes them dangerous. But you can easily mitigate that by just staying away from them.
Yeah.
So if anything, I should have had them running up the middle. But I wanted the 2 handgunner groups close to the general because he gives free guild the bonuses. So I needed them to kind of.
Oh, that's right. His
I needed all the free
guild.
guild to kind of stay together, and then the Iron Drakes would go over with the Rune Lord and be their own independent thing. So, but it just, yeah, those catapults kill everything so fast that didn't work.
But
But most other armies you play against, those catapults would be worthless.
What I was going to say, this is probably the only game the catapults actually carried their weight.
Yeah.
The only other time they would have is against Zinchen. They had enough Destiny dice to make 5-up saves on everything.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're playing against, and that's just it. It's because each attack does so much damage. That means 1 save negates all of this.
Right.
Right. That's why it's like it's better if there's more attacks that do less damage because
yeah.
things like Destiny dice and other things don't have as much of a factor.
I'd much rather
But catapults are always supposed to be like not a lot of attacks, lots of damage. But
Yeah.
that's it's like cannons and catapults.
It's
they're
so
always,
swingy.
They swing too much, especially because cannons often.
Well,
hit
it's
on
stressful.
4s.
It's stressful for both players, I think.
Yeah,
And that's not
for
a
both.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's like it's only on a 4 I hit, but if I get through, I do 12 damage, and it's
Yeah.
like both players are going ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's on a 2 to hit, re-rolling 1s, and then you're gonna make the hit. So the question is, what happens next? Or if if instead of 12 damage, you had 12 attacks.
Yeah, if this had 15 attacks or 20 attacks.
Yeah, 15 attacks that did 1 damage.
Yeah, there were 2s to hit, 3s to wound. That'd be probably
with no rend. I'd be like, okay, that's
Yeah.
going to do some good damage against my handgunners. Yeah. Statistically, it would do the same thing in the long run, but it's just the anxiety it creates every time. Every time you roll that 1, you roll those 4 dice, you got a 1.
Reroll into a 1. I felt bad. That felt bad for me.
Exactly, and then you got lucky. You rolled the 3 3s, but then the one turn you rolled and you missed with one of the 3s, and then I roll a single 6 up.
Yep.
And it's just like, okay, I'm only doing 5 now.
And that felt bad.
And then I saved 2 of those with the 6 up ignoring. It's like I did all that work to kill 3 guys, and then the next round 16 die. It's like that's way too swingy because you can't depend on it. So, but it's such a cool model. Like, look at that model.
It's very reminiscent of fantasy. Many games I played, like across the table from cannons, you're so thankful that the first turn of shooting they just whiff, and then the second turn they killed 3 monsters. I guess that's game, right? It's just
and it's too bad because I look at the models and I think this game would be more interesting if because you need that variety for the games to be even more interesting. You need to find a way to make the blobs of guys have their place, and to have the catapults have their place, and to have the cavalry have their place. But it feels like, you know what I think honestly it comes down to, and some people might disagree with this, but that's okay. I think it's just the fact that it lacks strength versus toughness. Because that can solve a lot of different issues. Like I've talked about this in the past, the problem with hordes. You have a big horde and they're super resilient because they have the extra bravery for battle shocks. They usually have some sort of surviving mechanism. Like I always go back to the Grots for glue.
Well, they're a great example.
Yeah, they've only got a 6-up save. Unless they have at least 10 shields, then it becomes a 5-up. Why? What business do they have being at a 5-up? It should have been a no save to a 6-up, or the shields let them reroll 1s. And then they have a banner that's +1 save against shooting. So now they have a 4-up against shooting. I'm like, I'm sorry, Liberators have a 4-up against shooting. Grots should not.
Yeah, look at a Liberator, right?
And so all of a sudden you're paying, Liberators, you pay 90 points for 10 wounds at a 4-up save, rerolling 1s, mind you, if you have the shields, which they're going to. And whereas the Grots, you can get 60 wounds for about 3 times as many points, a little bit more than that. So you get more wounds. They'll have the same save against shooting, and in close combat, guess what?
They're super good.
So when there's a lot of them, they get bonuses. Why? Do you know what the bonus to having a lot is? There's a lot of them.
Yeah, you get a lot of attacks.
Because you might say, well, because there's a lot of zombies, so they should get bonuses to represent the hordes of zombies. I'm like, why? There's a lot of them. Oh, look, they swarmed in. There's 30 attacks. Do you know why? Because there's 30 of them.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to then stack on, and also because then you get that runaway exponential growth thing, where it's like, yeah, you have a little bit, they're okay, and a little bit better, oh, they're really good, and then it just kind of becomes ridiculous. Yeah. So then you throw in the lack of strength versus toughness, and all of a sudden it's hard to move them. Whereas if they were in 40k, they would have been toughness 3, right? Mm-hmm. Most likely. Maybe toughness 4, but most likely toughness 3. So all of a sudden you're firing bolters and you're wounding them on 3s. And then they come after you, and they're wounding you on 5s probably, because they're only strength 3. Those catapults, what they would probably be, you'd probably have a rule for the catapults. In 40k, they would just be like 2d6 shots, because that would represent the blast, right? But against large units, they automatically get all their shots. So all of a sudden they get 12 hits. But against a single target. But then you'd have a cannon, which would be like the last cannons, which are high strength, high damage. But because in Age of Sigmar, you have a 2 wound instead of strength for toughness, and wounds spill over, it basically blurs the line between what those different weapons are. Because if you just took weapons from 40k and brought them to Age of Sigmar, all of a sudden the last cannon is no, like, d6 damage basically you just give it a 2+ to wound, right? That's equivalent. Strength 9, it's 2+ to wound. Maybe 3+ because some things. So let's say it's a 3+ to wound, d6 damage. There's no difference between d6 damage and d6 shots, statistically.
Right.
There's no difference. Whereas in 40k, there's a huge difference. D6 shots is better at killing lots of guys. D6 damage is better at killing single guys. So I think the game actually suffers from not having strength versus toughness, and also from giving hordes bonuses, because those 2 things stop you from being able to have catapults have a consistency to them, and of wanting to bring stuff that's not just big groups of guys. So, but tournament lists might prove me wrong in what they do, but they probably just skew into certain things anyway, so it's hard to compare to tournament lists because they usually just focus on the meta and like what.
Which is always evolving.
which is always evolving. So I'm talking about your general games, which is the 99% of the gamers are going to experience. They're not going to experience the tournament skewed lists. So that's my rant and my ramble. I still had a lot of fun. This was great. I love those models. I love the look of the Bonereapers. I loved bringing 149 guys, which I do every once in a while. Just to remind myself, okay, next time I'm bringing some Griffins just so there's less models on the table. And the Realm of Light rules, I love the Realm rules, so I'm really enjoying Age of Sigmar right now.
Yeah, I'm liking the new Realm rules. A lot cleaner than the previous incarnation of them. Easier to manage too. No ethereal amulet. Woo!
Yeah, exactly. It's just a little less skewy as well. But that's all I got. So there's my post-game thoughts, Luka.
Right, we pretty much covered all the thoughts. I've said it several times throughout the game. I'm happy the Petrifax Elite is no more. Yeah. That way I don't have that. What was the word? Used the word earlier.
It's a nagging voice in the back of your head.
Yeah.
Whenever you'd roll a 3 instead of a 4, and you'd be like, if I was Petrifax Elite, I would have stayed alive.
Exactly. That's gone.
That's gone.
Yeah, that's 100% gone. Don't have to worry about that anymore. I can play Crematorium and have fun. I can play Mortis Praetorians and have fun.
You might think, well, Luka, you could have done that already. And it's true. Absolutely true.
But there's something.
But there's always something that bothers me about lack of internal balance.
Yes.
Like if you're going to have lack of external balance between codexes and battle tones.
Well, that happens all the time.
I get that. I wish there wasn't, but I get it because there's so much variety in the armies. But when you're in your same battle tome and you're like, you look at two things and you're like, they're functionally the same, but this one is better. But they're functionally the same.
But you don't want to be that guy to bring that better one every single time you play it.
I can pay 100 points and bring this, or I can pay 100 points and bring this, and this has a rend, and this one doesn't, and the same thing. There's so much like that, right? Mm-hmm. And it more in like choosing your storm hosts or lodges. It's like, yeah, I could do that, or I could just give everybody +1 save. I could have my guys explode and do mortal wounds, which sounds really fun. Or you know what, just
+1 save.
Just make them not die. Who cares who cares about doing mortal wounds to your opponent if you just don't die? Like, how do you make that choice? That's the hard point.
It is. And like I said, that's my one talking point. I'm just glad to see it go. And now I can go, I got 4 cool Bonereaper lists I can go between. They all use a different legion. And that's awesome. And I'm super happy about that.
And your catapults did something.
And my catapults did something. Actually, I don't really know what legion I should put these in. I could probably make my own custom one.
Yeah, or just not use legion.
That's what I mean. Yeah, not a custom one, but just don't use a legion. Yeah, just pick a command trait and then just go with it from there. I might probably do that in the future, and then that'll give me my changing it up with Bonereapers and flexibility. Anyways, folks, that is it for this game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You know, maybe you got some insight into the different ways to play Bonereapers. Maybe you've been curious about the cities of Sigmar and Greywater Fastness. Well, here you go.
This is normally a very a solid list.
It is. I played that several times, and that's why I avoided them. I respect how powerful they can be.
Yeah, you had a list that was able to avoid them because you could just catapult. Imagine if you didn't have the long-range artillery. Eventually you have to. I just keep marching up the table, and if you're avoiding me, you're just like...
I got nowhere else to run. Exactly.
Please! I'll be like, okay, you stay there. I'm just going to stand on the objectives. Come closer, I dare you.
I can see.
No.
Exactly. All right, folks. We'll see y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, happy wargaming.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you go and check out the battle report in the MiniWarGaming vault that's there right now, posted today between Josh and myself, Matthew. We played an awesome 2,000-point game of Ogre Maw Tribes with lots of lead belchers and iron blasters against Disciples of Tzeentch, which I played for the very first time, and tried out some demons and saw how they did. It was a very exciting game. Actually went almost the end of all the turns, and so it was very back and forth. So make sure you go check that out at the link below. If you're not a Vault member, you can still click it, get a free 7-day trial, get instant access to the Vault, and help support us in making battle reports and other content. Thanks so much for watching. Happy wargaming.